welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we're live on a Saturday morning, ready to do feedback. That's when we talk about the things that you said to us, like back to us. The nerve of you to talk back to us. No, just kidding. That's when you talk about what you guys had to say about what we had to say throughout the week. Just reminder, we still do have posters if people want to get them. I'm sure on the next show we do. That's a regular show. We'll tell y'all about our visit to the post office.
The adventure to the post office.
Which was fucking insane.
Yes, it was.
But shout out to y'all that paid above and beyond the $15 though, because we needed that shit that day, because it cost more than we thought. But we got a plan now. I think we got to streamline. Anyway, if you want posters, $15 minimum. Just email me, the blackouttips@gmail. I need your mailing address and all that stuff. I think that's it for show upkeeping and stuff. Oh, we have a new link to our Teepublic store. It'll be in the show notes and all this stuff. They're moving Teepublic to like a different, like whatever. And the new design is in the store. So our new design is the Keep That Sane Energy.
Come on, keep that sane energy.
Yeah, and so if you guys want to get that shirt, the link is already in our on our Instagram page and for merch, but I'll make sure to put it everywhere else so that you guys get the new link to the new stuff. But yeah, it's Keep That Sane Energy as a shirt, and I'll show you a preview of what it looks like. But that's the shirt right there. Of course, you can get it in all these different colors and all this different stuff. So whatever you guys want to wear. But yeah, keep that sane energy. I when we said it on the show, I was like, that's a shirt. So all right, let's see feedback stuff. The official weapon of the show is folding chair. The unofficial sport
bullet
is
ball.
A bullet ball extreme. And of course, email, voicemail, comments on our website, votes in our poll, comments on our YouTube. We're going to go over all of them today. And let you get your voices heard, hear what we have to say about what you had to say, and go from there. Let's start first though with the people that took the time and said, you know what, we gonna give you some money. They went to the blackouttips.com. They looked on the right hand side and they said, listen, I like what you guys are doing here. I don't really want anything but y'all to just keep doing it. And we say, okay, cool, no problem. Go ahead, hook us up.
That.
And we give you a shout out for that.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tithe to the Black Guy Who Tips.
Today's a new day. New Venmos, new hellos. We got Marlon B, recurring donator. Yes, Marlon B. Wonga from Down Under. Tiffany B. Palmetto Stone Magic. Alfonso M. YRD Design. Thank you so much. Kyle K. David from Brooklyn. I think. Oh no, it's David C. Sorry, wrong Davis. But y'all still cool to me. Jasmine J. James C. Bambi, Dr. Professor Bambi. Kimberly, the Falcons Diva. Jason F. Derek L.W. Ken M. Zach from the Living Corporate Podcast. Lawrence C. Christoph R. Dostra J. Dostra J. Preston Slanger Ages Podcast. Team Dro. Celeste Vaughn B. We got a one-time donation from Jennifer P, who says, love the show, started listening because of Rod and I can't leave because of Karen. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
You get the show. Mariano, Adam S, and that's everybody that donated this week. Thank you everybody for putting some money in our pockets. All right, let's get into 5-star reviews. We got, I believe, 2 new ones. We love 5-star reviews. You go to Apple Podcasts, you leave us 5 stars. You make it nice, okay? We don't like responding to mean things, so you make it nice, and we read it on the air, and it just keeps that love going back and forth, and it's awesome for us.
Yeah, even if you ain't got an Apple device, you ain't got no excuses now.
Yeah, you can do it on the website. You don't even need to have an Apple device. All right, let's get into these 2 new reviews. Karen Be Knowing by Croft who says 5 stars, purple heart emoji. Thank you. That's all we need. Karen do be knowing. All right. It's a great title. The next one is Amazing. 5 stars by Jody Singh, who says, what up? What up, Jody?
What up?
Me and my son had an amazing time at the live show.
Aww.
He got picked to pick a segment. We came from Washington State, originally from Fayetteville. This show has kept me connected to my blackness and my sanity for 10 years now. Y'all have taught me, inspired me, and kept me informed. I appreciate y'all. Wow.
Thank you, baby. That was a
Washington
long
State.
trip.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
listen,
we've been out there.
We've been there before, and that's a flight.
Yeah, that is a long flight.
Yeah. Wow. Thank y'all for coming to see us. That's it's humbling. Honestly.
It really is.
And I love a family that listens together because they stay together. All right. Let's get into the actual show episodes on our website, theblackguywtips.com. We'll start with the first episode, 3058 Good Faith, which was our feedback episode after we did the live show. Appia says, I never write negative comments or mean emails. I believe a person is what they put out into the world. I want to be positive, constructive, and reflective, and a reflected person because I'm also human and sometimes I get mad. I stop listening and have conversations in my head with the host. That's the best I have. I really like Keith and the girl, but the show without him that doesn't work for me. I still wish the show success and I'm thankful for the good times. Well, Keith listens to this, so I feel like if you didn't want to put anything negative into the world, then you probably just put something negative in the Keith. And for no reason, just shots fired. You could have just not listened, and he would have never had to know. But to each their own. Ronan Raphael says, if I have a personal relationship with a creative, I would ask them about questionable stuff like someone I used to be cool with. When I noticed him bringing anti-vaxxers on his podcast during the height of COVID-19, I asked why. He said he was just asking questions and doesn't share their views, but he was giving them airtime, so I unsubscribed. No mean language or insults needed. Yeah, I think if I had a personal relationship, that's different than just me listening to someone's podcast or YouTube channel or whatever. I think feedback is a good thing. Yes. I like to encourage it for us, but I don't think all feedback is good, and I don't think all criticism is good. And I think there's a level of value that has to be put into it. And when that is done, when those qualifications are met, I found that to be very rewarding. That's why we do our feedback show. Yes,
and it's very fun for actually the host and the person speaking because it's a conversation.
But in general, I feel like the tenor of most feedback and conversations, quote unquote, on the social media are very disposable and not
very dismissive.
Really taking people's stuff humanity into account.
Agreed.
We'll get into it later on a different episode, but like, a person left a comment on here, and I've happened to have had really good conversations with this person throughout the years through like Facebook DMs and stuff like that. And I actually DM'd her to be like, hey, what exactly do you see in this situation versus what I am intending to convey to people? Because I value your opinion, and I don't want to just be dismissive, and I don't want to come on the air on Saturday and be like, fuck you talking about or whatever, and be, defensive, and then it just won't help anybody. So
nobody
if I can
benefits
talk
from that.
Yeah, if I can talk to you, it's better. And then was talking through text, so it's still some things I think get lost in translation.
Yep.
Like, there was a couple of times I made jokes that I realized later like she took serious, and then I replied back like, no, this one was a joke. This one was a joke. Like this, like I
they
don't
need
want
sarcasm font.
Yeah. I was like, I should like reply back with a ha to my own thing or something, just to let you know, like this is not serious. I don't want you to think I'm fucking crazy, like
right.
Because one of the things I was like, like it was like, well, some listen to at least 2 of your listeners didn't understand. And I made a joke like, just 2? It's so many people listening to this show. You need dozens, hundreds. And I'll reply back like, that was a joke. because I don't want to sound like I'm like
I'm being a dick.
I don't really believe that. Apia says, parasocial relationships sound so bad. I love you both and feel that we are transatlantic friends. I hope Karen gets lots of love because I don't want to change her one bit. She is perfect the way she is.
Oh, thank you.
Justin says, it was great to finally meet y'all. I've been listening to the last 9 or 10 years now. My wife, who doesn't listen to the show, really enjoyed herself too.
Oh, thank you.
Sean says, great show and so many thoughts. I really miss the Righteous Prick, Rain on Your Parade podcast at times like this. It would have been great to hear his side of the experience. I'm sure he'll probably bring, I know he wrote his road blog about it. I read that.
Yeah, I read that too.
And I know he'll also post about on his Patreon. That's kind of where the Righteous Prick is gone. It might not be the same name or concept, but you know, if you just want to hear updates on JL's life and misery and general discontent, I think that's what I do. I listen. On your relationship, there was a time you took a break. I think it may have been your first time to take a week off. You started a rumor that you got divorced on Twitter. The fact that you can joke about being divorced shows a lot of security in your relationship. My wife told me that if we ever got divorced, I would know because she would start asking about my recipes. So whenever she feeling froggy, she'll ask me, so how do you make that stuffing again? Also, I remember listening to your Real House Husband series on the premium feed. Highly recommend for premium listeners.
Real House Husband was fun. That was a very fun series. We had a ball doing that.
And a great reason to go premium, but just wanted to say, Rod, if you don't feel safe, blink SOS in Morse code. Unfortunately, I don't know Morse code. Oh, and the Jollof that is Nigerian or Ghana, was it Nigerian or Ghanaian Jollof? I was asked at a dinner after an academic conference and sat between a Nigerian woman on my right and a Ghanaian woman on my left, and they asked if I was comfortable. I said, as long as you don't bring up jollof, I should be fine. We then spent the next half hour talking about who made better jollof. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Sorry. Finally, Karen, just wanted to say Aries are the best. Love your slow burn to anger. And as a fellow Aries, I have that same feeling. Now off to reinstall Insta to see if I can find Rod's February post. They're on there. Thanks, Sean. Ramsey D. Jenius says, I'm still catching up on episodes. I can hear the relief, enjoying Rod's voice after the success of the live show this past week. Sending love and hugs to both of you. Yeah, I mean, I thought it went really good. I wasn't really that worried or nervous until I got there and the mixer was acting weird and I couldn't record it. And we did have some technical difficulties we've never had before, but
right, just never. Like it normally runs a lot smoother.
For the people that were there, the people that got to watch live, you know, I think it was a good experience. And you know, I look forward to doing it again, and next time we'll have some more fail safes in place, I think, to help with that. Ronan Raphael says, y'all know that I love that brother Rod and sister Karen. They was looking great and 5-star on stage, along with my light-skinned energy repping Justin and JL. What a performance. However, I missed the meet and greet, not because of what y'all are thinking colored people time. It was some delicious steak that made me forget the time. That chef must not have a middle name. I just know I've been set up. I would also like to table a petition. How they set you up with a delicious steak? That's crazy.
Here's delicious steak.
Set me up.
All of a sudden, you was like steak time warp.
Yeah.
I lose track of time.
Set me up like that.
What? I'm trying to tell you, save every bite.
I would also like to table a petition. Now, why would the Mademoiselle TPS refer to me as the thief? A whole humble me. Thurgood Marshall did not fight for our freedom just for me to face this. As she struck a pose with me in our photo, looked like America's next billionaire. I deserve compensation. A hustle is not a theft. I am a black capitalist. It was great. Yeah, that was also a cool thing about being able to do the live show, and I'm gonna try to make a commitment to do at least one a year, just because.
Yes, I want to do one a year.
It was cool seeing like some of y'all link up in person and be like, that's Ronan Raphael who's always writing in, that's Miss Smart who's always writing in, there's Miss Barnes who's always writing in. Like seeing that, that energy, some of y'all I'm friends with like a little bit more offline, or we DM and stuff like that. Seeing those people here and in person and seeing them get the vibe with each other, that meant a lot to me. It was great to meet Karen finally. Yes, it was a few seconds. My fault. I didn't want to impose. Plus, Rod already bribed me with that Frisbee. You silently telling me to go to Olympics, right? Los Angeles 28. Here I come. Sponsored by TPS. Shout out to Ka, who sat next to me. He flew in from Seattle. Charlotte, I'll be back. I had a good time and great respect to the Blackout Tips. Nason, y'all are awesome. Taxed it.
It was wonderful to meet you. I think that I enjoy meeting a lot of y'all in person because y'all know what we look like, but for some of y'all, we don't know what y'all look like. So it's really cool to put faces and names and that are personal names, but kind of online names, and then you kind of relate. Oh, okay, I know who you are based off that interaction. So it was actually a really great, really fun experience, and the joke and laugh and things like that. And our audience does, they get us. They know. We do a lot of joking, we do a lot of laughter, and I appreciate the audience for understanding and getting our senses of humor.
Let's see. Michael writes in, thanks to you both and everyone else who made the live show so great. I admit I got a little starstruck when I met you guys. Thanks for so many great years of podcasts. I look forward to future live shows. Oh man, that was fun. And Michael actually sent us some stuff in the mail when we get to the open in the mail segment.
Okay.
But everybody was so sweet, so nice, and it's funny to think of someone being starstruck by us, because I don't walk around like I'm a star.
I do not.
Come take the picture.
I'm like I'm a regular ass nigga.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille.
No, that was the furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah, it was cool. Everybody, however you think you came off, everybody seemed like they came off cool to me.
Yes, they did.
EVE says, congratulations on another successful show. Even though I wasn't there physically, I was able to watch via Zoom. I really hope I can make it to the next one. Karen, you look so beautiful, and JL was funny.
Thank you.
And let's see, do we have this one on I can't remember if I put this. Yeah, I did put this one on the YouTube. All right, and so we got 6 comments on the YouTube. Let me get to these. There we go. Jason says, you were right on time when you said you are your audience. You don't create an audience, you attract an audience. Mm-hmm. That's why I get upset when people give these MAGA folks an excuse. Trump doesn't create bigots, he attracts them.
Right.
Speaking of bigotry, I bet JL was super dope. I also saw the photo of JL, Justin, and Dom looking like they were in a light-skinned only green room. Colorism is strong at the Blackout Tips. Yeah, it was funny because Justin wanted to take that picture, specifically of them 3 being light-skinned and together. Me and Justin joke a lot about colorism and stuff, but that's our friendship, and we try not to impose it too much on y'all, because I know some people get very tight about that.
Yes, they do.
But what I thought was funny is that if you look at the pictures in sequence, Justin does not know how to take a candid. He was like, I just walked over and talked to him, and he was so awkward and weird with the posing that it immediately made JL and Dom be like, what are you doing? Are we taking a picture? And so the first picture is supposed to be them as a candid, and then the second picture is them all looking at me holding the camera, and then if you look at them in sequence, it looks like a sitcom where in the 80s and 90s where the sitcom would have a person like the camera on the person, they wouldn't be looking at the camera, then they look directly at the camera, and then their name comes up like Dominic Rivera. That's how the picture looked. I was like, y'all look like a light-skinned 90s sitcom called Full House Niggas. No, I'm just kidding. That's all right.
Full YNs.
Red Lotus Diva says, okay, the FOMO is getting to me. If you guys do a live next year, I gotta make the Pilgrimage Great episode. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that.
Yeah, that's the plan, and so we'll start planning and see what happens from there.
FL Duchess says, Karen is preaching hallelujah. Dark Namja just left smiley face emojis. Alicia says, funny story about the cartoon censoring. My son, who's 17 now, when he was a toddler and I had to work nights, my mom would put him to sleep and she would turn on Cartoon Network not knowing Adult Swim was on, shaking my head.
Oh no!
Yeah, he learned all the recipes.
Yeah, and depending on the age, he was watching a lot of real stuff.
James says, the live show was so much fun. I love jamming to the music with everybody. JL was hilarious. Also, Karen looked absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait for the next one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I felt pretty. I'm glad y'all seen it.
You are. Thank
you.
Just Anyway, all right. The poll for this episode was: have you met Rod and Karen in person before? 21% yes, 80% basically has not yet. Which makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of y'all that listen to the show. So, but still, 20% feels high. Like, but I guess that's also probably the people that go to the website feedback. But still, that's very high. 1 out of 5.
Yeah, shout out to y'all.
All right. Before we go to the next episode, and play a little bit of music so that we can, of course, pay some bills and get some money. So we'll be right back. The next episode is 3059, the Blackout Tips Live. I put the live audio out about a week after we did the show. And just because we weren't putting out any other episodes that week. And the audio was better than, I guess, the Zoom audio. People were having some issues. So the in-house audio seemed to be better. At least that's what I was told. I emailed it out to all the people that had live tickets first, and then a couple of days later put on the feed. Ms. Barnes says, so when I left Charlotte to go home, I decided to stop by Bojangles for breakfast, and I got the AI drive-thru lady. Oh, not Bolinda, whatever her name was.
Yes, but I think it's Bolinda. Well, who the hell is a Bolinda?
I was like, what in the fresh hell is this? She was super sweet, though, and wished me a nice day. Of course, imagine my disappointment when I got to the window to get a live human who wanted my money. Yeah, see, that's another reason they got to do away with the AI is because the people at Bojangles can't keep up that fake sincerity. They work at Bojangles. It's not about that.
No, it's not. Keep it real.
In the meantime, I hate to be that person, but you got any more live shows in the back? LOL, just playing. I had so much fun Friday night and meeting everyone. Thank you.
Yay.
Ramsey D. Jenkins says 5 stars because you all had a blast. I like the live show format you all use. I will make it to Charlotte for the next one. Yeah, I really think I may have stumbled onto something, and that might be the way we do live shows from here on out, like, or at least for the time being, because I had a bunch of different ideas, but like once I thought of that idea, it really stuck out. Like, yo, this could be fun. It's spontaneous, but it's also people's choice. It's interactive. The audience gets to have fun. We get to give out prizes, and so I really like that format, and we probably will do that again.
It was fun.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So this one didn't go on the main feed, obviously, just because it was just nothing but audio. Which means I numbered the episodes wrong. So that's on me. Anyway, I'll fix that later.
No problem.
I mean, on YouTube, that the numbers are wrong, but yeah, it'll be fine. Anyway, so that's it for that one. The poll was, do you enjoy live comedy? 92% yes, 8% no. They prefer their comedy to be dead.
Somebody in the chat room was talking about how the bartender was wild with the pouring. It was probably cause y'all I buttered the bartender up, y'all. I buttered the bartender up real good for y'all came cause we there super early. So y'all know me. I went to her. I told her thank you for being there, and I told her I was like, y'all gonna take I said, now I'm tell you right now, people gonna take care of you now. You ain't got to worry about that. I was like, we're gonna have a good night. She was like, we gonna have a good night, baby. So I made sure I buttered up real good. So I guess she was pouring hard.
Yeah. And love to see it. We love for y'all to see it and experience it. All right, let's get to the next one. 3061, I think was that one. Let me just make sure the numbers are right. Oh, no. I think I skipped one. Did it live? Okay, yeah, it's 3060. Keep that sane energy. 14 comments. 14. Oh, man. Let's see what we got here. The first comment is from Nebs, who says 2 Point Museum sounds awesome. I don't keep up with video game news anymore, but that sounds right up my alley. I'm gonna have to get it and play along too, but right now I'm extremely dedicated to Bear and Breakfast. Also by Karen's recommendation. She's got elite taste in games.
I like a lot of cozy fun games, and Bear I need to get back on that Bear and Breakfast it's one that once you get into it and you start branching off and going to the various places and taking care of your customers and things like that, it is actually really fun. I do not know why. For some people, a lot of the games that I like, I don't want to say them is mindless, but I just like organization and doing things and putting people to do this, do that, assigning people assignments. Like, I like that type of game. I play other games too, but I kind of like that management type of thing, and I could do it for hours. I absolutely love it.
Appia says, I agree people will have to suffer more to change their thinking and behavior. So much for both sides. Rona Raphael says, I truly appreciate you two, the best podcasters in the world. I believe that's part of why I'm so annoyed over the November elections is what you guys beautifully summarize and how many of us cover the Democrats like the NBA. I have even heard people questioning Hakeem Jeffries' leadership because of the 10 Dems who voted to censure Representative Al Green. The same Jeffries who held every single Democrat in line while the GOP was fighting over the speakership. When trash Mike Johnson couldn't keep the government running thanks to his bitch blonde bleach and Todd eating Marjorie Taylor Greene, who wanted a shutdown, didn't Hakeem Jeffries score concessions, including aid to Ukraine in exchange for Democrat support? All of a sudden, we're back to only Bernie Sanders, the only one with leadership. Yeah, the suffering ain't enough yet. The lies are still holding on for too many. Thanks again for this episode. I do get mad at the end of the section, too. Yeah, the politics, too, we get mad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw people kind of like, I don't understand the anti-Hakeem Jeffries move. I really don't. I think that is just a symptom of like everyone's mad on the internet, and so everyone is just raising the bar, moving the goalposts on all the Democrats, and everything's the Democrats' fault, and they're never good enough, and they can't be good enough. And the reason I don't like that is because when you actually have legitimate criticism of Democrats, it's empty. It's the boy who cried wolf, it's the sky is falling. It holds no value because you always shitting on them even when they're doing what they need to be doing.
Right. And what you asked them to do.
I have some qualms with this just Chuck Schumer shit that he did with the Senate. I actually don't like that. I actually thought he fucked up. And it's almost meaningless to hear other people say that because they think everything Democrats do is fucked up. And so for me, I'm like, well, I'm not like y'all. I don't want to join the fray of like, I hate Democrats. I just want to say, like, in this one instance, I think Chuck played this wrong. I don't think Democrats should have helped pass the government shutdown, like stoppage. I think they actually should have let the government shut down. Mm-hmm. But it's weird to say that in this environment because then people go, right, because Hakeem Jeffries ain't shit. I'm like, no, Hakeem Jeffries been holding the line, and that meaningless censored vote shit don't matter to me. What matters to me is something like this budget vote. That matters a lot more to me because if you can hold people in line with that, then that means you're doing something. You can hold them in line with the speakership. No Democrats defecting to help Republicans pass a new speaker of the House. Now we got something.
Right. Y'all got the numbers. Make it fail. Y'all pass or fail it.
Yeah, but I don't like it, and I don't even like the whole like generalization of the Democrats when a lot of times we are talking about somewhere between 2 to 5% of all Democrats, and we just say that we let them represent the Democrats, and I don't like that. I think that's very, very short-sighted and not and it makes the problem seem bigger than it is and something that can't be overcome, where I actually think the problem is simple and can be overcome. You literally are like 2 people away from this not even being a problem, but instead we make it sound like, no, we're 100 people away from it being a problem, of not being a problem.
And also, I think the thing that irritates me when people say the Democrats is very irritating because I'm like, no. Name the people. And depend on where they are, how educated they are, they don't even know the people. They just talking.
Right.
Like, name the people, name specifics, because that's the shit that matters. Because the bulk of them are doing what you requested. The ones that are not are the motherfuckers that need to be called out. Not the 95 to 98% that are doing the right thing. No. Who are the people? You, motherfucker, you're the problem, not the rest of them. I need to look at you, and if it's a problem, we need to get your ass out of office and get somebody else in here that's going to do what they need to do. You're turn around and you're punishing everybody because you're too lazy and you're too incompetent to find out how shit works.
Yeah, but most importantly, you're making the problem sound like you can't overcome it.
Right.
Like it's just a like it's so funny because people say Democrats have a messaging problem, and I think a lot of times Democratic critics have a messaging problem because they make people feel hopeless. And your whole thing is you're supposed to be motivating the rest of us to join in with you to save whatever we can of democracy. And instead you just talk like this is an insurmountable problem that is just fundamental to how it works, as opposed to like, no, we've overcome this before. And you're right. You need to be specific. Ms. Barnes says, yes, I too am a vaccine snob. I would like all the vaccines, please.
All of them.
Whatever my doctor suggests, I have my arm ready to go.
Child, can we do it right now? Do I need to go back to the nurse's room? Whatever it takes.
Yeah, it was so bad. I slipped up by accident. I forgot that. So our pharmacy where we get our vaccinations it's a CVS, but it's in a Target. And once again, the boycott, I haven't been online. I don't pay attention to online boycotts and stuff like that, but I'm not trying to denigrate the boycott. I heard that it's now 40 days and all this stuff.
Right.
And I'm not trying to like slide on it or do anything shady, but I literally got caught slipping because we go to the CVS and they're like, hey, the person that needs the pharmacist, tech, or whatever that needs to administer your vaccine, they got to use the bathroom, so they just need like, can you come back in 5-10 minutes? I'm like, okay. They're like, just walk around the Target or whatever. And so we're walking around the Target, and I'm forgetting that we're supposed to be boycotting Target. And I didn't buy Target stuff. I went to Starbucks in a Target, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get some Starbucks, get some coffee, go right back. Man, apparently when you buy Starbucks and the coffee in the Target, it's really just shopping at Target. It's like I got an email later like, how was your shopping at Target? I was like, I didn't go to no fucking Target.
Yes, I went to Starbucks.
I'm like, ain't we supposed to, like, is this a trick? They sending these to black people to make us think we've been shopping at Target when we haven't. Be like, oh, remember us, Target? I know you bought something back in January of last year, and we just now sending a survey. Don't forget about your boo.
Asking my Starbucks card, not my Target card.
You up, big head? Whatever. And yeah, I used the Starbucks gift card that I had. But it was funny that I was just like, oh damn, I guess I helped Big Target out. They think my black ass is out here shucking and jiving.
It wasn't on purpose. I had to get that vaccine, y'all.
Big Bank says, I'm going to be that guy, but How in the Hog came from slavery, kind of like everything in this country. Sorry, I love us for real, but I couldn't let it pass by. Yes, y'all can't help yourselves. I always try to hedge y'all off and be like, don't write in, but I know if I don't say it, even more of you will write in than the 5 of you who are going to write in anyway. DJ says, I had to pop in and speak up because I'm represented by one of those 10 who voted for the censure. I responded when I saw Twitter ranting and raving about just throw our rep away, and they don't live here. Our rep's district is vast, and the city and county and maybe a smidge of another are her only blue votes. Everywhere else is a sea of red. Ohio is a sea of red with blue dots and pockets of non-voting Amish. Republicans have a chokehold here, state level included, state Supreme Court. Dems mostly win here because they are middle line on big on reach across the aisle.
Right.
Most would say that Republicans are midline. I have a narrow view when it comes to women's rights, so I wouldn't agree, as they do everything here to destroy our bodily autonomy. But conservative extremists did chase Rep. Bonner out of U.S. House leadership, claiming he was also too moderate. Anyway, the Dem rep, she votes for Dem policies majority of the time to help us regular people.
Right. She
supports unions, the ACA, the CFPB, the infrastructure bill, etc. She advocated hard with another Dem rep to get tech companies to bring chip manufacturing here and thus jobs beyond just auto factories. I won't act like I know her exact reasons for going with the censure, but I'm not in their secret Republicans camp people on Twitter. I think that's going too far and likely more to do with the closeness of her race the past 2 cycles. The party here has not presented a replacement for her, and if they do, that person will also be more moderate. AOC types unfortunately won't win here. The dangerous possibility is that she will be replaced by a MAGA nut like that other rep I mentioned earlier just did. A Capitol riot denier was her challenger this past election cycle. I don't want our district to fall into those type of hands. If the Dems can't present a feasible replacement for her, sorry, I'll vote for her to keep the MAGAs out. Yeah.
Right. And those are things that matter. And like Roger said, the people talking online, y'all not in this district, you can't vote. You're just talking.
yeah, people ranting and they feel bad, and that's fine, but they feel bad from a distance that they are not affected by what is happening in your jurisdiction,
and they don't have to deal with the consequences of it.
Yeah, so they can just they just get to feel bad, and I think that's why we have to be careful. We have to think about that stuff when we enter the zone of social media. It's just important to think about that, to be like, what is the bigger picture? What is happening here? That's the stuff I was getting at when I talked about TikTok. I'm not singling out TikTok because I feel that way about all social media. It's just, unfortunately, TikTok is the one that currently has enough people feeling a way about it that they feel like they need to defend it. And I'm like, that's weird, because when I say that shit about Twitter, there's no defense. If I say it about Facebook, no one wants to defend it. Instagram, no one wants to defend it. Reddit, no one wants to defend it. But somehow TikTok is the one where people are like, wait a minute, I take exception to that. And it's like, I don't know why, because it's the same shit.
Ran by the same people.
Like, if any, it reminds me of the book I read after the gig, about the gig economy and these startup companies. And the promises that they make when they start up, people buy into it like it's not marketing. They buy into it like it's real. They're like, Twitter's going to help us. It helped the revolution in Egypt. It is a good thing. And it's like, no, something good may have come from it. That does not necessarily mean it is inherently good. And it doesn't mean it's going to stay good.
Right.
And I think that with all this stuff. But yeah, Twitter's politics and discussion of politics, left or right, is extremely toxic and very little nuance. And nuance is not really greeted or rewarded there on that platform because it takes long form to really do that stuff. And also, it just doesn't rile up the feelings as much as someone who's just like, get these Democrats out of here or whatever. Like, that riles people up.
You can't be reasonable. Everybody that's unreasonable to either extreme is the ones that get rewarded.
Yeah. Rex De La Cour says, I yelled exactly during your banter when you said Sterling should be Green Lantern because he has been my fan cast ever since the treadmill scene of This Is Us. WBDC unfortunately couldn't get right even with flawless casting for their Trinity. But I'm going to take it one further for you. He was in Black Panther and decided he just wanted to do a voiceover, and the best they could talk him into was baggy jeans and an oversized tee. Good thing Coogler had MBJ's cum gutters on string dial. Right. Agreed.
They was like, look, you got to do more than the intro, dog. We got to get you on camera.
Why is this man so humble? Shoe Booty says, word nerd clocking in for duty. The phrase "high on the hog" comes from back in the day when you were seen as, I didn't want to know. I asked y'all not to tell me.
You know they gonna tell you, baby.
I don't want to know. It's funnier that I don't know. And I made up a joke, guys.
They was like, high on the hog, you up high. And I'm gonna tell you how I know.
It's just like,
who was that encyclopedia?
When a stand-up says they don't know something, but they actually do know because they say every night that same joke on stage. The joke is that the phrase "high on the hog" comes from back in the day when you were seen as wealthier for eating more expensive cuts of pork from an upper portion of the pig than a lower portion. Think of it like eating a roast pork loin versus eating pig feet, rich food versus peasant food. High means the location, not getting high off your bacon in this context. God, not me pausing the show to comment, then being told don't write in, I'll go sit in the corner. Sean says, I resisted the urge to pause and comment. Just glad I'm not the only one who felt the urge. Well, at least you're not alone. And if Sean is with you, then you know it's some know-it-all
shit.
You
are not alone.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Erica says, my doctor didn't have the COVID booster available when I was last in office. She gave me the flu vaccine and told me to wait 2 weeks to get the booster. I definitely would have taken them at the same time.
Yes, child, I do.
Sterling K. Brown, Chef's Kiss. I didn't know he was so built. Definitely would like to see him in more action. That shower scene was fire. I kept up on Paradise in hopes I see more of his buns.
Not the buns.
But just kidding. It was a great show. Yeah, he chooses to show the buns sparingly. He's like, listen, I'm not okay. I'm only doing it if my character has a need. He just staying in shape for no reason. Sean says, About the absurd, stupid, ignorant, and ill-conceived idea of making the English the official language. First off, it's a bad idea. Thankfully, it's not something that can be done by executive order. That being said, being an official language basically has one actual tangible result. It's not about what language people speak or the availability of languages for accessibility on government forms. Those won't change by making English the official language. What will change is all the official contracts will need to be written in English. This doesn't sound like a big deal, except that it means that restaurants with a French-speaking owner hiring a Parisian chef will need to have the official contract between the owner and worker written in English, and then a professional certified translator rewrite those documents in a language where both the parties can understand. Also, it'll help a lot of translators get hired. Sounds like a good thing. This goes to the I'm just joking. This goes for other similar situations as well, and will likely hit construction firms and non-chain restaurants the hardest. Too long didn't read. Make English the official language has extremely high cost of small business with no, zero, nada, zilch, no benefits to anyone anywhere. Don't think it's a good idea.
Agreed. And yeah, I didn't even think about that, how contracts sometimes are just written in the person's native language on both sides, and everybody signs and just keeps trucking.
Pratt T says, keep that same energy as bars. That message needs to be heard by everyone. I'd buy that t-shirt. Well, it's on our Teepublic Store. Click on the link in the show notes. Also love the analogy of the Democrats being the NBA. Sad but so true. Listen, that was one that when it hit me, I was like, oh, I'm a genius. That's what it is. It's the same shit. EVE says, I'm up to date on my shots, but I'm not sure if I got the MMR vaccine when I was a kid, so I'll have to ask my mom. I know I had the chicken pox when I was a kid, but I never had the measles, but I may get measles vaccine just in case, because the pharmacist said getting one wouldn't be harmful. It's better to be safe than sorry, because these dumbasses out here getting vaccinated, not getting vaccinated is not going to get me and mine.
I feel you on that one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I got it either. I probably did. I got all of the shots. You know, being the kid and all that shit. So it's going to be, my doctor say get it. Yeah, if not, I'm not going to worry about it.
On YouTube, Provocative AF says, heart emoji. Rod, I want to shout out you and Karen. I love this episode more than any other. All of them are great, but I was feeling fucked up emotionally with the world. But listening to you and Karen broke the Al Green, Jasmine Crockett, and the state of the country down. I felt that in my heart. Thank you. Much love to y'all. I'll become a member tomorrow. Caught this at 2 a.m. Central Time. St. Louis weak ass is in the building. Much love.
Oh, thank you, baby.
And I'm glad, man, because honestly, I feel like sometimes the stuff we say here is not said anywhere else. I don't know that anybody else is talking about politics in the way that we are, and especially I know my point of view is drastically different from most people when it comes to just this. The idea I have right now is one of like, try everything, and what is not for me, I will just disregard.
Right, but it is like, an audience for it. It just happened not to be for me.
I'm not trying to, I don't know the answer.
Right.
I'm trying to be humble in this, in that I know what I think is going to happen. I know some of the like consequences and results, but I don't know what to do here, because I thought Democrats and Kamala Harris ran a good campaign. I refuse to go back on that and pretend that they didn't.
Agreed.
I don't even care what Tim Wall says or whatever. Like, they lost, so they're scrambling. So of course they feel differently than I do. But I thought they ran a good campaign that ran into a problem of America. And so
yes, America.
Yes. And so seeing Jasmine Crockett TikTok dancing is not gonna bother me. Seeing Al Green get kicked out is not gonna bother me. Seeing 95% of the Democrats say leave Al Green alone, and 5% of them be like, I don't know, man, I think he went too far, not gonna bother me. Those symbolic things won't bother me that much. Real power such as Schumer passing that budget, that does bother me. I'm not gonna lie. I think that was something that is tangible, and I believe if they played hardball, they make the GOP go back and come back with a 30-day resolution or some other alternative than the false choice of shut the government down or don't shut the government down. I really do think that would have happened. We'll never know for sure, but part of the reason we'll never know is because of Schumer, and his reasoning to me was not solid reasoning. And a lot of people's defense of it is not the reasoning he gave, because the reason he gave was on some like, I'll never vote to shut down the government, blah, blah. But people were saying like, oh, one of the things that is happening here is if you shut the government down, Eventually things will run out of funding, and then Elon and Trump will go crazy. And here's the thing. If you think that is the GOP's purpose, if you think that is Donald Trump's purpose, and if you think that is Elon Musk's purpose, understand this. They didn't need the Democrats to do that.
Nope. They could have did this themselves.
Meaning that if they wanted to shut the government down, all they have to do is tell all of the politicians in the GOP to sit on their hands. They don't need the Democrats' help one way or the other to shut it down. Now, they need their help to pass it. But to say we would like the government to shut down without funding, there's a fundamental logical flaw in that. The Republicans voted for this. They wanted this budget. So, no, I don't think Schumer's playing chess and somehow outsmarted everybody and is sacrificing to keep the government open because the GOP secretly wanted that. And keep in mind, the way these votes happen, they know for the most part how people are going to vote. GOP could have gone and been like, guys, 10 Democrats are defecting and they're going to make us pass the budget, and secretly we don't want to. We need 10 more Republicans to stand down on this so that we don't pass the budget and that the government shuts down, because what we really want to do is shut the government down and then fire everybody under the cover of darkness.
Right.
I don't think that's true. I really think Schumer just misread the room, and I think smart, when you see Nancy Pelosi and AOC agreeing that he fucked up, I think that's enough for me to have enough hubris to say, you know what, he probably fucked up. You know, and I'm not a Schumer hater. I don't really hate any of these politicians. But yeah, I think he fucked up. Let's see. This person, Ihimani, says, hi, Rod and Karen. Enjoy the show. The phrase "high on the hog" originated in the 20th century America, refers to eating the best cuts of meat from a pig. It can also be used to describe a wealthy lifestyle. I am Amber Woodhouse says, just dropping into the show. Y'all some love. Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
Dark Namja, winky emojis. Jinxful says, I'm with you, Rod. The anti-Democrat rhetoric is ridiculous at this point for the most part, and honestly has been since the 2016-ish, but now it's too counterproductive, and I can't help but see folks who completely ignore what Trump and them do and turn the ire on Democrats as ops. No matter what they do, they're wrong and somehow the problem. Not these folks passing legislation to take away our jobs and civil rights. Yep, agreed. Uchida says, when you say the dirtbag left, are you talking about guys like Jimmy Dore? I think he's one of them, but there's a lot of them. There's literally like Chapo Trap House. There's like a whole little echo chamber of those guys. I don't know what they're up to now. There's that I can't remember her name, the black woman who was a Bernie, somehow worked her way into Bernie's like not administration, but like his campaign people, and then went rogue and then turned on him and all this shit. Bree something. Anyway, yes, them motherfuckers. Donatello, and I count Young Turks in them too. Like all of them fucking ops to me, man. I'm so left that I'm Republican. Suck my dick.
Right.
Donatello says the second Gender Wars video was Chef's Kiss. It was amazing. I'm Talisha says, hey, I'm a fairly new subscriber here by way of Karen Hunter. I joined your live show via Zoom and thoroughly enjoyed it. Seeing the funny comments, even about the poor sound quality at times, was hilarious. I started listening to the podcast version of today's show and decided to pop over to watch it on YouTube. Once you start talking about abs, hoping to see some pics. Yep, I'm thirsty and ain't shamed about it. I guess I did fuck up. I should have pulled up his pics at the time. Jinxful says, side note, I just wanted the SNL Elon and Trump skit. I just watched it, and yeah, they not holding a candle to JL. I know. They're not. I agree. JV City says, stay insane in the midst of madness. Woo, we lift you up. This struggle is not as dire as the abolitionists, and sad that it's continuing to this day till this day. Candy says, exactly. When we lose elections, everyone cries about low turnout. Representative Crockett is meeting people where they are to get them engaged. People love to complain, but those TikTok videos and arguments with MTG got more traction.
Yeah, and also the thing is, y'all, and I'm saying the Democrats, and I do mean the Democrats when I say this, the Democrats' job is to reach out to everybody. Like, they trying to catch them all. That's not my job. And so when you're trying to catch them all, you have to do where all is. And sometimes people have a tendency to forget that.
Right.
Your age range and where you are financially and your education and all that stuff will impact how informed or not informed you are, how serious or not serious you it just does. Like, it does. versus younger people. We all know that a lot of times it's very hard to get younger people engaged and shit like that. You cannot ignore them because they are not you. You cannot say they don't matter and who gives a fuck about them and then turn around and blame them when they're not engaged, but you're not doing the things that you need to do to quote unquote engage them. That's the Democratic Party as a whole's job. So yes, TikTok might make your 40, 50, 60-year-old ass mad because it's not for you. But if I'm 20 something and I love Kendrick Lamar and I see her dancing, I might get my ass out and go. I am in the party of whatever it takes.
So yeah, I agree on that. And yeah, it just feels like people are missing the point. We need a lot of stuff right now, and it doesn't all have to be for us. It's okay to be like, yeah, this one's for the kids or whoever's into this TikTok shit. You know, maybe they'll see this shit before they see another one of these, like, don't vote because of Palestine videos. Maybe they'll feel connected in a way. Anyway, let's see. Last one is Gina, who says, yes, on the anti-fog glasses, my hot flashes have been known to fog mine up. It's cool enough in the house. If it's cool enough in the house. Yeah, when I'm working out in the gym, if it's cool enough, I get fog on my glasses, depending on like what exercise I'm doing. Like if I say I do the bike and then I do then I do like bench press where my glasses are now facing the ceiling, it'll fog up and I'll be like, damn, I can't see.
And the thing is, y'all, when you get your glasses, they have all types of shit. Like, it's almost like a DLC for video games. All the motherfucking upgrades. You want to block out the sun. You want to block out the Blu-rays. You want to block this out, block that out. If fog was an option, they would be like, you want anti-fog. It is not an option.
I think it is an option. People were saying, well, we'll get someone that writes in about it
Okay,
later.
well then, my people don't have it as an option. I'll ask them then.
Yeah. But I mean, it's to me, it's a mild inconvenience and doesn't come up that often. The glasses fogging up. So I think I'm like, it's, I guess, nice to have if you want it, but it's not something that I'd be like, I got to get the anti-fog. Like this shit barely comes up. The poll, are you up to date on your COVID boosters? 75% are. Wow.
Shout out to y'all.
25% are not, but I'm shocked. That's a very high percentage. I feel like that's way higher than the general society.
And honestly, baby, I really do think, because all jokes aside, doing COVID the whole time, people that actually listen, we push that. We push that a lot to make sure you protect you and yours and things like that. Like, it matters. I know everybody's grown. You're going to do what you want to do. But at the same time, these things are for your protection, particularly with all the things that are going on right now. You need to be sure you are up to date, because who knows what's going to happen once a lot of this shit gets passed, once a lot of this legislation actually gets to rolling. You know, your insurance may or may not cover it, and it's going to be a big difference. You paying a $20, $30 copay, and you walk in there, they're going to be like, each shot is fucking $200.
The next episode is 3061. We told you so. We have 5 comments. Appia says, I'm only cold at night and I wear lots of clothing and have 3 blankets. During the day, I'm always warm. My body produces lots of heat. My hands and feet are always warm, like if I live inside an energy field. Thanks, energy field. I agree with everything about politics. I'm not shocked at all. I'm waiting for the U.S. to be renamed Trump land. Sofa King says, WRT, the poll question, I guess regarding the poll question, are you always cold? Not only am I always cold, I think I was in kindergarten before I was able to understand that other people got cold. Sean says, about the poll, my parents like to raise us by spending the summers in South Carolina, winters in Wisconsin. I think they were into alliteration, and we did not have AC growing up, so I'm comfortable from negative 40 degrees to 40 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Living in Osaka, where it doesn't hit either of these extremes, I'm generally comfortable year-round. To the dismay of my students, who sometimes are too shy.
Right, they like, look, baby, it's cold in here.
Who are too shy to tell me that I forgot to turn on the heat. Damn. EVE says, what's wild about that story with the black guy whose white girlfriend killed him, I saw a lot of black women speaking up for him until all those tweets of him disparaging black women came to light. Yeah. I love black women. I really do. But, like, sometimes I'll be like, y'all don't want to just, like, wait this out? Just, you know what I mean? Like, white dude killed by black dude killed by a white lady. Let's just wait till the tweets come in. before we even hop on to like the calls.
I'll just wait.
Let's just see.
Get some more information.
Just see, like, you know, because the backlash is gonna end up looking bad, and then people are gonna have all these weird ass things to say about black women and all this shit. Where it's like, not my business. I'm like, we'll see. Like, was she in the Klan? You know, like what happened? How did you? Oh, you hate black women. All right, well,
good luck with that.
I don't have to save you. And then they stopped, which I don't blame them, but to add insult to injury, his cousin spoke out to call black women bums for not speaking up for him. Sound like he has a whole family of coons. Yeah, see, not my business, not my table. You know, like, and I don't mean that on the negative, like black men are bullet bags. I'm not saying anything negative about black men in that way. Just saying, like, it's an exhaustive effort to just jump in as if all this shit is a cause, and meanwhile, a lot of motherfuckers are just, if you wait a second, it's like, okay, this wasn't our business. He wanted this somehow. Let's see, the YouTube, 3 comments. Jason says, I'm with you about needing the coat situation, Karen. For me specifically, it's movie theaters. I have yet to go to a theater that did not freeze me out. Also, it's time we realize that Bernie is simply the backup quarterback of the country.
That's hilarious. Everybody want him.
When the things are going bad, everybody wants to talk about putting him in, forgetting he's had every opportunity to be the starter. I'm fine with his little tour. It's really easy to capitalize on the anger of this country after all that Trump has done. Like y'all have said, ultimately it's Trump's policies that will cause the movement. If he had actual pull, he would have gotten these people to the polls last year before all this happened.
Agreed.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I just don't understand how people look past with Bernie. They'll say, like, look at the rallies he's doing. People are showing up. And it's like, one, not as many people showed up for him as they did Kamala. And Kamala lost. So I don't know that rally size is the mandate that you would like to treat this as. The other reason that I look at that I find it kind of weird is like, his rallies have a certain demographic of people that's there. And that's not what the Democratic Party is.
Agreed.
And his message purposely leaves out a lot of people, and I don't know why. It's been 40, 50 years of this, and he won't just change it so that it could just bring in more people.
You don't care, so
because
why
I
should
really feel like he keeps doing this white working class thing, and I'm like, bro, all of us are mad. I don't want to. I'm not looking at you saying please don't include me. I'm saying include everybody. We all want this stuff, and I know it makes your message a little less simple, but that is the task that Democrats have, and they have a hard job. And I think you like it on easy street. You like to just say it's the 1% and it's rich people, and you like to leave out stuff like white supremacy and stuff like, you know, abortion and stuff like that. You like to leave it out of your message and not make that part of the anger, because we feel that anger too. And I would love to look at a Bernie speech and feel like this is a speech for me too, as opposed to like, oh, this is a speech for angry white people in the middle of the country. Sure, like if you're an angry white person, I'm sure he's like your hero, but I'd love to hear him talk more about other stuff too.
Right. It's also, this is a song and dance he's been doing for a very, very long time, and the message is always the same. And then when people that are not in the white working class group that's angry says, hey, this message isn't for us, you're not talking to us, the problem that I have is that the group that's around him turns to you and act like you're part of the problem because you're not being catered to. It's like, but bitch, I ain't got to be here. Yeah.
Anyway, the worst thing that could happen to Bernie or a progressive movement is that Bernie actually become president. Once he sends that first drone, and he will send that drone, all the super progressives will realize Santa ain't real. Bernie gains a lot by simply having the I next to his name instead of the D. His platform is actually no more progressive than Kamala's, but he can always claim outsider despite being in the Senate his whole life. Agreed.
And yes. Yeah, I'm not going to go down that, but agreed. You like that I, because with that I, you don't have to take a stand on certain things. You can play the middle, you can fuck around, like it really don't matter, because with that I, in this country, you're not going to win. And so, you know, and whenever you run, you don't run on that I, you run on that D. So when you come over here with the D, and the D is like, hey, dog, we got rules and regulations and things we got to do. You can't come over here with this I mentality and act like we're the problem. No, bitch, we've been doing this for a long time. If you want to run on this ticket, you have to abide by our rules.
Koki Negra says love it, and JVC says heart emoji, no one is safe. The poll was, are you always cold? Yes, 29% and 71% no. All right, let's play some more music and do the last 2 episodes, and then we'll come right back, everybody. How about this one? Tomorrow by DJ Jaffa. I like that.
I like that too.
3062. Rod changed his mind. 7 comments. B-Star88 says TikTok isn't what you're saying at all. Oh wait, I responded to this on the show. All right. Himdill says, Rod, I thought pretentiousness and eating rice with chopsticks went hand in hand, quite literally. Oh, what's that? I'm sorry. I'm too busy eating my rice with chopsticks.
That's hilarious.
Karen, my sushi is not for my hands, but I understand that life from way back when I wasn't a pretentious chopstick using player like myself. And yes, I just pushed my glasses up with my index and middle finger, #anime glare. Deal. EVE says, I knew Hooters was in trouble because the last time I went, my waitress was at A Cup. We go to Hooters for wings and titties. I didn't get the full experience. Yeah. This economy broke. Appia said
they ain't got it.
Appia says Mr. Appia sometimes lacks the danger sense in the same way, but he's an over 6.5 tall man. So maybe it's more grounded in his experience of people not messing with him. A woman, would sometimes go to the other side of the street when there's a suspicious group of men in front of us, and he just does just walk and doesn't care. When I asked him about what if he was about it, he was like, what group? I don't remember. I didn't notice them. Oh, the privilege. Great to see the Republican Party embracing electric cars. I thought they were all dangerous, weak, and they exploded all the time. I guess it's not so after all when the money is flowing. Right. Yeah, once he pays for your election, it's like, I love electric cars. Also, the European leaders come together to get stuff done, even the UK, and we as Germany just decided to get the military more independent. Now your progressives need to come together also. It would be nice. C-Baby says it's for the best that Amazon's getting ready to try before you buy, in my opinion. One time I got a bra through that service, and it showed up smelling like major BO. What? They just put them back in the bag and give it to other people? No way. Yuck. Smell like people slept, exercised, worked, and had sex in it for 5 days and sent it back on the 6th so they wouldn't be charged on the 7th. Yeah, but honestly, Amazon might be onto something. They should do that, and then when they get one back like that, sell it on For pay good money for that.
They're
used undergarments. Slightly soiled pennies on Amazon. Like, wait a minute. That's try before you buy.
It's a whole ass market.
Yes, used secondhand try before you buy sales would probably make Amazon a lot of money. We're lucky they're not diabolical enough.
Right.
Because they should be doing that.
That would be the not safe for work Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon OnlyFans.
Yes.
Amazon had the nerve to put a memo on the page saying this item gets returned frequently. I didn't think they meant this specific item. Damn, I didn't even know that's how it worked. Didn't even cross my mind it would work like that.
You know what? I realized that when you go on Amazon, sometimes we'll have a thing on it that says that this item is returned.
Yeah, I don't mind that, but it's never been clothing for me.
Oh no, it's never been clothing.
That feels weird. Let's see. Biz Drones on the YouTube says it shows it's absolutely pointless to have a conversation with MAGA people. Oh, because I was talking about that dude, Sam Cedar versus the Trump people. But I mean, we knew that, Biz Drone. I still don't see why those videos are. I don't know what people get from those videos other than confirmation bias. Because who the fuck didn't know you can't talk to MAGA people at this point? How long we got to be in this? How many years does the MAGA shit have to keep happening before we be like, oh no, these people are pretty much hopeless? Old Marb Hester says, word to mother, I can't believe it. Nice impression. Thank you. Lamont says, hey, but they don't mind feeding prisoners in the pen. Right. They don't want to feed the kids, but you go to prison, they got you. Actually, they probably do mind feeding them people, but anyway. Meek says, this is one of the best quotes ever. Power is power. Shout out to Cersei. We should have really listened to her.
Right, she knew.
Lastly is Kevin, who says, Rod and Karen, first off, love your show. Thank you for providing content so regularly. I wanted to comment on this episode because you two devoted so much time to that video clip with Sam Cedar. You mentioned several times that you didn't know who he was, so here's some background. Sam is a longtime podcaster and YouTuber. His podcast, The Majority Report, has won some journalism awards. His YouTube channel has over 1.7 million subscribers. His content is mainly politics from leftist progressive perspective. Several years ago, he was a political contributor for MSNBC. Sam's show is essentially an interview format. He criticizes Democrats but doesn't bash them. He seems to love debating conservatives. As you can see, I am very familiar with his work. He often invites black writers, journalists, and activists on the show, but his content does not go out of his way to be in black spaces, so it doesn't surprise me you guys have not come across his work. Yeah, it's very white people news. Anyway, I thought his background might be of interest to you. Again, love your show. I first discovered your show when looking for black reviewers of House of the Dragons. You guys are so good. I started listening to more and more of your content. Well, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
I appreciate the background on Sam.
Yes.
Once again, I think I reiterated many times in that discussion, I'm not disrespecting the dude. I don't know anything about him.
I'm just not familiar with his work.
It wasn't a judgment of him or his work as much as it was like, I don't think there's anything in this content that truly will be thought-provoking, but I do think a lot of it is the kind of thing that I don't want to say masquerades as thought-provoking, but the kind of thing that makes people who already feel a way go, yeah, I'm right to feel how I feel.
Agreed. And for me personally, they're always, when they first started coming out, I seen like 1 or 2. I was like, oh, they all like this, and I just opt out of all of them. I ignore them and keep it trucking because I was like, oh, the structure is the same. You're not wasting my time. The
poll: are you proficient at using chopsticks? 42% yes, 57% no. So, but that's a pretty good percentage. I think I am. And the last one is 3063 scam is life. 7 comments. It'd be funny if I said I was proficient at using chopsticks, and then when people saw me, I had like one in each hand. I was getting rice all over the table and shit. Anyway, Cynthia says, I have to agree with the commenter you brought up on the show who wrote in about TikTok. It may just be your algorithm, but there are people on there not in glam, hair undone, bonnets on, looking raggedy, and they do have a lot of followers. I can't name any specific ones because I just don't keep up with TikTok creators like that, but I promise I'm not lying to you, LOL. Well, number one, I did say there were outliers a few times in that conversation, originally and in my response to that person. And so I'm not offended, but I hate when this happens on the show. If I specifically address something, I don't like when people write in like I didn't address it. And it feels, not that she's doing this, but it feels like gaslighting almost. Like when it's like, but I did acknowledge this. Now we don't have to agree, but it was acknowledged, it was addressed, it was specifically acknowledged multiple times. To say like, well, you said nobody on there can get. No, I didn't say that.
No, we never said
there
that.
are people on there, they're outliers. And the fact that you didn't name names and can't name names, I still stand by my point.
Right.
Not being able to name their names is a big fucking deal.
It is.
It's the biggest part of this deal is that you don't know their names. Because when I brought up that list of the most popular people, those are household names now.
Yes, they are.
Addison Rae's a household name. You know, like Cobby in the hands, we all know that. They're a company that does have their finger on the scale of the algorithm of their company, because all social media companies do. It's like they're not exempt to any of this. And I'm not saying that TikTok is a specific threat that is more insidious than any other threat. What I'm saying is the need to feel like you have to defend it, that is different. Meaning that people do not, when I say anything bad about these other social medias, zero
cares.
crickets. And I really have to bring this up in the wake of the TikTok shutdown that TikTok orchestrated itself. All of us saw through it. All of us knew what was happening. And the way that they shut it down, people were fiending for it. And I was very, very unnerved by the amount of progressive and liberal people who were delving into conspiracies and acting like the government shut TikTok down, saying that they shut it down because of Palestine. Meanwhile, the government shut down, the ban started from Donald Trump.
Right.
When they opened up the floodgates again, they credited Donald Trump. And you had to see it when you logged in and say, okay, that was a message to you. I saw progressive people saying, not Cynthia, but people saying stuff like, thank you, Donald Trump. That is scary because you're people that claim to be against all of that. And here you are thanking him, knowing that it was him that started it in the first place.
Right.
So I really do think that part is scary. That part is different from other apps. Like, because if Twitter goes down, people are like, fuck Elon, fuck Twitter, glad it went down. Even if they miss it, even if they're like, I'm on Facebook because I'm not on Twitter. There seems to be like an understanding of I'm smoking a cigarette with the other apps. Like, yeah, I'm smoking a cigarette, I'm on Instagram. TikTok, people can convince themselves, I think because the algorithm is so good over there at like reflecting people back to them what they want to see in a lot of cases. I think that algorithm is so good and addicting over there, especially with like the way that they've integrated advertising and stuff into it. I think it is a different animal, and it does lead people to feel a level of like defense of that app that I don't think it deserves. I think it's just an app like any other app. Mm-hmm. And I did not single them out as Rod always talks good about the other apps, but not TikTok. I talk shit about all of them, even the ones I'm on.
Right.
I do. People think I'm not on TikTok. My coon thing blows up every February on TikTok. So I do know how TikTok works. I do see stuff on there, but I just understand that this is an algorithm as well. And there's no difference in this platform other than the reputational goodwill that they received that I don't think they have deserved. I don't think they've earned reputational goodwill. I'd be shocked how people get on there sometimes because the millennial in me cannot fathom getting online looking crazy, but they do it. A lot of times they will start off saying, I know I look crazy right now, but even the people, right. And once again, that is your algorithm. I think if you are and this was what I was trying to tell the other person about that app when I said strippers talking politics. And I'm glad you wrote in because it reminded me of another point I want to make. But your algorithm will learn from you. So if you're like, I don't mind clicking on people wearing bonnets, I'm sure it will show you more people wearing bonnets.
Right.
But the default of TikTok is not to promote those creators.
Nope.
And because you're on there, if you're being honest with yourself, I know, knowing Cynthia a little bit, I know you've looked at those people and been like, damn, it's kind of wild that she ain't blow up when she's always talking that good shit, but her stuff not going as viral as X person. It's like, yes, because whether it's even the algorithm or just on a human level, a visual medium, people respond to the visualness of it. Meaning whatever they find aesthetically pleasing is what most people will glom onto. And so it then biases itself past the algorithm into the human mind where we're like, I like a woman wearing makeup whether I acknowledge it or not. You personally and your virtues and whatnot may not be moved by that. You might be like, I don't need you to be made up for me to like your content. But a lot of people do because people are shallow. I pointed it out on the episode, which is, why it's a little bit disappointing to get this comment, because I used us as an example and said our YouTube is different than our audio. Mm-hmm. Our responses, some of the things people say about us, Rod's face, Karen's clothing, not wearing makeup, stuff like that. Why you always got a sweater on? Mm-hmm. They're distracting to us as people who really started this format in audio and would like to just kind of keep it focused on that. It's very distracting. That's not a TikTok thing. That's a human nature thing. That's not a YouTube thing. That's any place we're in video, that is an issue. I was trying to point out that the book Amusing Ourselves to Death is really good about what I'm trying to say. Maybe if y'all got time to go read that, you'll get to my point, because this to me is facts. This isn't my biases against TikTok or any other media. These are just the facts of dealing with a visual based medium. It isn't quote unquote fair. People in general don't like fat bodies. People in general don't like darker skin. Mm-mm. People in general don't like women who aren't made up. They prefer women who are made up versus women who are not. These aren't just that. And TikTok having a naked algorithm caters to people's biases. It's not trying to change them. TikTok's mission isn't to be like, we need to open this up so that when people look at all people from all over the diaspora, they stop feeling so judgmental. No, TikTok's like, fuck it. If you want to just see titties, I'm gonna show you titties. If you just want to see white people, I'm only gonna show you white people. And so the point that I wanted to make that I forgot to make the first time, the other reason I'm like TikTok, and it's not just TikTok, but I think TikTok is probably the biggest example of this. The pretty privilege of TikTok is part of the reason there's so much intellectual theft over there. Because TikTok is not concerned with uplifting creators. And we saw this in real time when it first popped off, when they had the TikTok dances going crazy. Mm-hmm. Black girls were inventing them. White girls were getting to go on Jimmy Kimmel doing them. Tell me I'm wrong. Black girls inventing the dances. Even white girls just doing the dances as well. Much more viewership, much more promotion, much more For You page. Just the default. Now look, if you only follow those black girl creators, maybe it's your algorithm that's biased and showing you the black, and you're going, no, it's fine over here. And I'm going, there's a whole level above this that is based on just theft and privilege. That is just like, I'm white and I'm making the same joke. There's so many sketches I see, so many lip syncs I see that are just people hopping on a wave, nothing creative or thought-provoking about it. And you got white people dancing to that Kendrick Lamar 40 Acres and a Mule. No reason they should be dancing to that. And they're blowing up with it. They're blowing up with it. And it's being promoted and people are seeing it everywhere. That is what I'm talking about. That place it has its own thumb on the scale, and it is weighted towards a certain type of image. And just because other people exist, other people have one-off success, I didn't say no one who is conventionally unattractive, quote unquote, can be successful there. I didn't say that.
Nope.
And I refuse to acknowledge that as something that was said because I don't play straw man. If you want to interact with us on our feedback show, this is part of good faith. This is part of listening. You have to be able to be like, this was said. I don't want to hear it. It's the tone. I felt like we not talking about fact. At this point, we got to talk facts. Because if we can't have a conversation because you felt a way, I can't be responsible for the feelings of thousands of people who hear my voice and take it how they want to take it. I refuse to live in that world where like, well, you took it away, so I guess I have to pretend that I said a thing I didn't say. Nope, I did not say that. I acknowledge many times. It ain't everybody. I acknowledge many times. There are outliers. Risa Tisa went super viral, got a deal, CAA and all that stuff. That does not mean TikTok is like, listen, TikTok lets that happen and they wanted that to happen and they helped promote her. No, they didn't. She happened in spite of the biases of that platform. Period. I'll be shocked. Okay. Even people who don't get on disheveled, a lot of content creators who produce very niche content, they're very not conventionally attractive, but the content they put out draws people in. I think the glam look was big in the pandemic, but not so much now. Instagram is more centered on looks, but TikTok is all about the content. Another follow-up, I didn't think the commenter was defending TikTok. I think it was pointing out that their description of TikTok wasn't wholly accurate because you can accumulate a following and make money on there without being super attractive in a way that has not been done on IG. Nobody is defending righteousness on the app. We all know they boost certain creators who have a certain aesthetic, but your characterization of the kind of content on the app was not wholly accurate. I legitimately think I was being very accurate, and because I never said that was all the content on there. I really don't know what it is that triggers something in people about TikTok. I really don't get. If I said the same thing about, matter of fact, you're saying it about Instagram in your defense of TikTok. And the truth is, what you're saying about Instagram is not wholly representative of Instagram. Mm-mm. Many of the same creators who found success on TikTok have found it on Instagram as well, whether they're bonnets or conventionally attractive or not. For some reason, there's a weird reputational shield around TikTok where people are like, no, TikTok's not like that. It's like that. It's okay. They're all kind of like that, depending on what the medium is. Tumblr is different. Tumblr had its own problems, but Tumblr was not, at first, it did not require it to be a visual medium. People were writing long form essays and shit.
Yeah, almost like a blog.
Yeah, so it just it's the medium, not that's the message. It's not, this isn't about one of the apps. With all due respect, as someone who doesn't use the app, I think you can I do use the app though, my nigga. So that's not, I just don't be on there like that constantly. But I do use the app. I have the app on my phone like all y'all had an app on your phone. This is not me coming down from on high like I don't use the app. How could you ever? Like I said, I create stuff on there. I know the content. I know the comments I get on my videos. Like I'm there too. It's just like I'm there on Instagram and other places. I think you can let the people who use it vouch for the kind of content that's on there. It's still a terrible company like the rest of them. It's not pure in any way. I'm just saying you don't have to be beautiful to have success on there. Okay, now I'm done. Cool. It seems like we completely agree because I never said that you have to be beautiful to have success on there. I said it's stripper talking politics, meaning that just like you don't have to be beautiful in a strip club, quote unquote, there you can go work at the strip club. It still defaults to the people that do more success in the strip club are the people that people find aesthetically pleasing. Right. Period.
Yes.
It is what it is. Like you can accept that as the ground rules when you look at a visual medium, or you can pretend that it's not happening, but it is happening that your eyes are discerning who and what you will follow. And it does give a bump to people because there's plenty of people who are actually assholes, people that are wrong, people that politically are not that astute, but they look good. And people will admit to like, well, I'll just watch it because that person looks good. And it happens all the time. All the time. But for some reason, TikTok's the one where people don't want to say that's happening. And I don't understand that impulse. The rest of it I get, but the idea of like, no, guys, not here. Oh, what? Yes, here too, everywhere. I even brought up newscasters. Like newscasters have to be attractive to tell us news. You shouldn't need to be done up to the nines to tell
us about what's on the nines.
But because it's a visual medium, we don't accept that. So it's the fact. So it is what it is. Himdale says, Rod and Karen, y'all hit on the conversation I had recently with my people. All the folks in my life that used to remember everyone's phone number are all out of order. Not one can remember more than a few numbers because they just don't have to commit to remembering those numbers anymore.
Right.
That phone dies and then they stuck with the person whose number they actually remember and they don't have a phone for some strange reason. Just hang it up. Y'all just living wherever here is now.
Ain't that the truth? Wherever here is.
But as I as a non-remembering fellow who used to have to write out the numbers on a little book at times, feel like I had the keys to the phone kingdom. So every so often when a friend will call to ask me someone's number, I go to my little book of numbers, then flip through. Most of my people have been fairly responsible adults and haven't changed their number in decades, so it works.
I am that person. I never thought I would be that old lady, but I am that old lady. I used to be like, damn, mama, you still got that same number? I was like, oh, I get why you got that same number because it ain't worth changing the goddamn number.
I think about changing my number sometime. Just because I'm like, I'm tired of motherfuckers getting a hold of me. Let's start this shit over.
Yeah.
Obvious says, Justice Department shuts down law enforcement monitoring, but both sides are the same. Voting doesn't matter, and now you have it. I tried TikTok out when it started and found it was extremely addictive, so I never went back. That's another thing. TikTok is extremely addictive. And I think it's going to be interesting when the studies are done to see like which apps affected people in different ways. Because TikTok is one of those ones where like you can really go into a time suck with it.
Yes, you can. You look up and an hour and a half has been gone.
And it's so addictive that I remember them putting their own warnings on it, but that felt like cigarette labels on cigarettes.
They're like, you've been on here for a while because that's why there was a big thing about not having endless scrolling because with the endless scrolling and with TikTok, like I literally look up and an hour, 2 hours pass. It's like, okay, yeah. I have to limit the amount of time that I'm on here.
Yeah, but like I said, I think they're all smoking cigarettes, but I think I'm more interested in the reputational pull that they've gotten. That's the part that's interesting to me about TikTok. It's not like it's an app like any other app in some ways. I think it's a little bit more addictive at this moment, but something else can come along and be more addictive, or something can happen on there like ads or something that fucks up the addictiveness of it. That happens all the time with these apps, and next thing you know, it's like, I don't really be on Vine like that or whatever, because because
it breaks, it does that break where you're like, oh, I could be doing something else.
Yeah, YouTube was like that for me for a while, where like it felt like people were very addicted to YouTube, And I'm sure they are to some extent, but once they started throwing all those ads in there, people, I felt like it broke up something for people where it's I don't need to sit on here all day because now I'm just watching ad after ad and there's 5 ads in the video. I'm good.
Yep.
Like I'm making when an ad pops up, I have to make a conscious choice to reinvest in what I was watching.
Yep.
And once it's not passive, I think it's easier for people to opt out. Anyway. But I'm also extremely selective with my media consumption because I know that I can emotionally be affected pretty easily, even if my brain knows that it's not necessary. Yeah, I try to be better about that too as well. R. Kelly maybe isn't doing himself any favors when he communicates is where's my money instead of I'm a changed man now, right? That's good. But what do I know? Maybe Trump will free him soon. Yeah, just somehow, just out of spite and make him a new national anthem that praises him. I can see that happening. You joke, but that could happen.
Yes, it could.
Finally, the tariffs are helping someone and it's great. I'm sure everyone is happy. For my daily farmer news, drug makers Malik, Droct, and Indo got a bump from tariffs. $6.7 billion merger. Malik, Droct, and Indo drug makers. Indo, is that like weed, or is that just what they call it in Cali?
I said might be. You
yeah,
never know.
Rolling down the street smoking Indo. Recently, maybe Snoop was in bed with Big Pharma the whole time. We didn't know it.
we had no idea.
Rolling, mounting, dropped, smoking, Indo, sipping on Percocets. What recently emerged from bankruptcy after Huawei. I'm not reading this shit. That's your letter. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, Appia, but that's Big Pharma news. Stephen A. talks a good game, says EVE, but I bet he was nervous when LeBron confronted him. I think he's lucky LeBron was at work at the time because he might have got yoked up. He reminds me of this reality show where one person talks a lot of shit, but no security will step in. Yeah, Stephen A is just a weirdo for me. I don't know, man. He just really wants a monopoly on the conversation and feels like no one should challenge him, but he should be able to challenge everyone. And he takes it personal whenever someone does, and it's just like, dude, chill out. I mean, like, I hate to make it sound that simple, but it's really like, bro, chill out, man. You just like everybody else out here. You saying what you want to say. That gives people get to say stuff back, and people found the clips, and I was not surprised. People found so many clips of him being on TV telling people, I'm not hard to find. You know where to find me. I come to all the games. Show up, talk to me. Okay, it happened, and then you went, why wasn't this a private phone call? Nigga, shut up. Stop acting like you not tough. You just a guy. And that's okay. You get paid to be a guy that gives opinions, and sometimes you just take a L. Should have took a L on this one. Hey, man, shit, LeBron was right. I went hard on the son, and I can see how he took it personal. Instead, I thought it was weak. I thought it was bullshit. Like, no, you didn't. You look like, yes, sir, yes, sir. When that 6'8" was towering over you, you look like everybody else that 6'8" towers over. And honestly, we need more of that energy in the world. I honestly think the NBA should make a mandatory, if you're going to do NBA media throughout the year, they should make a mandatory summer league where all y'all niggas have to play basketball. And the final game should be y'all playing against actual NBA G League players. And then we should be able to sit back and be like, yeah, Stephen A is talking a lot of shit, but it humanizes him because we all saw him airball that 3 that time. And then we just go, yeah, no one should take any of this that seriously. Not you who hating on the NBA, and not the NBA people hating back on y'all. That would be nice, but it'll never happen. Anyway, comments on YouTube. The car show was probably a Cars and Coffee. Yeah, everybody kept saying that in the chat room, Rashad.
Cars and Coffee?
Yeah, I guess they do a car show where they show up at breakfast spots and they drink coffee and look at each other's cars. Alicia says those technical issues happen because Mercury is in retrograde. That's all. Next time you gotta check the stars, Rod. Third eye open. Alicia also says, was it Firefest where that middle-aged white man had to suck some dingling for water? He said he would suck some dingling for water, but that was one of the funniest memes of all time. That was a good day. I am Talicia says that wide-eyed what the fuck look on Karen's face when Rod read about the inmate podcast had me rolling.
I didn't know what was good.
Curtis says the car show was most likely a car and coffee meet. The owner sometimes a particular car club will meet at a restaurant or donut shop for breakfast. Old heads like me prefer this because it tends to eliminate the more rowdy elements who tend to be disruptive. No hoopties. Great show.
Oh, and it's breakfast time, so yeah, you don't get the reasonable people out there with like credit scores and 401ks go, I like this shit, but I'm not trying to do nothing. I just wanna eat some bacon and eggs and go home.
Right. Turn that shit down.
You're right. You're just too loud, people.
We'll
right?
need all them hydraulics.
I'm trying to drink coffee over here. What you doing?
I lean to the side because of my hip, not my hydraulics.
Ain't that the truth?
Aaron says, looking like a ballerina that need to take a bath or something. I guess that must have been something we said. Jason says, man, if Jim Bush had rolled up on Trump the way Braun did Stephen A., where he talked about his family, we might not be here where we are as a country right now. There's nothing like watching the alpha leave a man's body. Haha. But the sports media is more united than the police when you attack one of their own. I have no idea what they're going to talk about once LeBron hangs it up. Yeah. I appreciate my man Nick Wright for calling it like he sees it, because I listened to this latest episode of this podcast, and like I appreciate him because I know he's a big LeBron fan, Tiger Woods fan, all this stuff, but I actually appreciate him being willing to be like, nah, Stephen A. was wrong on this, and I hope it doesn't cost us our friendship, but if it does, because I don't think he was personally insulting the man, but it's like I have to be fair. And I appreciate that impulse in people, because I think a lot of these people behind the scenes, these media folks, they have a lot of connections to each other, a lot of stuff with agents and and deals and all this type of stuff. And they have biases, but they try to act like they don't. And it just, like, anyone listening to anybody, if y'all listen to me long enough, you will be like, oh, he doesn't like generally this person or this thing. It's weird when you can't admit to, like, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's the end. I don't like it. The end. You know, not that I can't change my mind on it, but as of right now, no, I don't like that.
And I actually find it a bit relieving when you genuinely just don't like something to say it, because I think it helps. To me, it helps me when I'm like, yeah, man, I don't like the way so-and-so gets down. And because then I don't have to like keep being like, well, okay, I have to be fair. Well, no, I don't have to be fair all the time. I try to be, but sometimes it's like people, I'm like, I can't be fair to that person. If R. Kelly pops up, I'm never going to be seeing his side of the issue, so stop bringing him up to me.
Ain't that the truth?
Or just fast forward 5 minutes if you need that someone to be 100% neutral. Just fast forward, because I'm not going to be 100% neutral, and it's okay, you know? Anyway, Hugh Golden says, still the best in the business. Thank you, Hugh.
Thank you.
All right. Voicemail times, and I believe we got quite a few voicemails.
Okay.
So, of course, Skype wants to re-download. I'll play music, and then we'll come right back with this in a second. Here we go.
Psycho music.
All right. First one is from a number I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Hey, y'all. Hey, I came to the live show and I was just so super excited to see everybody there. The last time you guys did a live show, it landed on the same day as my brother's wedding, and I for real was like, this is just a vow renewal, right? It's not the actual y'all not gonna miss me, are you? So I had to make that decision. I was like, So it was kind of cool that I was able to go this time, and I just wanted to say to y'all, did a fabulous job. Karen, you are so beautiful. Oh my God, everybody was there. It was such a blast, and everybody who couldn't make it, I am so sorry, because we had a ball.
We did.
Yeah, thank you. You didn't say your name, but appreciate you coming.
Thank you, baby.
And thank you for the kind words. Next is from Dre.
What's going on, Rod and Karen? This might take 1.5 voicemails, but we're gonna try and do it in one. So I take my oldest daughter to school every morning on my way to work. She's 18. And so she's old enough to kind of get what's going on. I'm listening to the podcast pretty much every morning. But a credit to something I think you'll actually be proud of, Rod. It's not Guess the Race or like something like real silly. The 7 minutes it takes me to get her to school, like rarely is she in the car long enough to get the full context of what's being talked about. So it's not like she doesn't like the show, but she's just not, you can tell she's 18, she's kind of into her own thing. I say all that to say that I still kind of watch her reactions for different things, because I'm her dad. I want to see if she thinks the things I think are funny or funny, whatever. And I do, like, sometimes I'll see her laughing and giggling about different things, whatever. So I know she's kind of aware of what's going on in the podcast. We're listening the other day, and Karen said something, and she just kind of starts cracking up. I don't even remember what the fuck it was. She just starts cracking up. She's like, man, Karen is always so funny. And I bring up to her, I said, man, that's funny, because there's actually people who think that Karen doesn't bring anything to the podcast, and that all she does is agree with Rob. When I tell you that her jaw hit the floor, she could not fathom how someone could listen to this podcast. Hold on, I'm just going to hang up the call.
You call right back. Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, she could not fathom how someone could actually listen to this podcast and feel that Karen provides no value to the show. Mm-hmm. To make it even further, she doesn't listen to the show enough to be like emotionally invested in Karen in the way that the rest of us are.
Right.
She's actually only looking at this from like a technical perspective. She's like, if it was only Rod, the podcast would not be as entertaining. It would be like too, I don't know, Rod. You know how niggas like us can be know-it-all-y. You know what I'm saying? Like,
agree.
Kind of niggas who people feel like they know every damn thing. Like, if it was only Rod talking, it wouldn't be as quality a product, no matter how much you love Rod. Because, we goes up for Rod, too. But for whatever reason, niggas don't feel so comfortable slandering Rod on this motherfucker. Probably because they know what. Anyway.
Because I'm petty.
Whatever. You get my point. All I'm saying is, any motherfucker saying Karen don't provide value to the show is nothing but a hater. They woke up that morning and said, I'm going to hate on the first motherfucker I hear today. And they pushed play on your podcast, and it had to have been y'all, because there's no other logical explanation. Rod, Karen, we love you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Dre.
Shout out to your baby.
Yes. Right, shout out to the baby. Yeah, I agree completely. It's like, it's just like, it's like how people just don't, like, you eat the cake, you don't know how to make a cake. I feel like that's what people be doing. Your ass would not be here if she wasn't here. It just is what it is. I'm not that good by myself. And it's not that I don't feel like I'm good at all. I've listened to people that have to do a podcast by yourself. It's fucking hard.
It's really hard.
You gotta, and then sometimes like the other perspective needs to be in the room. Questions need to be in the room. Elaboration needs to be in the room. Back and forth need to be in the room. That call and response when I'm taking a breath or just stopping for whatever reason, that shit matters. It need to be in there. Someone making a different fucking point than the one you're making need to be in there. Someone getting to the point faster than you would have and saving time, that shit need to be there. Motherfuckers just do not know what the fuck they're talking about. And that's why I always end those with like, if you think you can do this better, go fucking do it. I would love everybody who's ever complained about Karen or our podcast, I would love them to go try to make even 100 episodes of a podcast.
Come on, even 100.
And then come back and fucking apologize. Because you're not going to be better than us at this shit. And you're going to say, oh, I didn't know it was this fucking hard. My bad. This is just ridiculous. But yeah, shout out to your baby. And I don't take offense. I don't even listen to me on the podcast. Karen will go back and listen to us and shit. I said it. I'm good. I don't need to hear a nigga that think he know everything. I am that guy. I'll probably be listening to my own shit like, nigga, that you think you know everything. What about this? Did you think about that?
And I know I don't know everything.
All right, next one.
Hey, this message is for Rod. It's Frank calling from That's Great News. I had sent you over that.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to mess that up.
Okay.
Surprise later. Okay. All right. Next one, Miss Barnes.
Computer lady will be all right. But anyway, like I was saying, I didn't know I was sitting next to Shoe Booty during the show. And then behind me was K-Can, and also Felt 5 was sitting next to K-Can. It was Felt 5 and his wife. But yeah, and then also met Rona Raphael. It was just so nice meeting everybody. Oh damn, I forgot that Dominus' wife was there too. Mm-hmm. That was fun. And also during the meet and greet, I love talking to your parents. Your parents are so nice. In your Facebook post with the pictures, the photographer got me giving your mom a hug, and so and then afterwards I was talking with Justin and your dad and Mary, and it was really all kinds of fun. But yeah, it was running around, taking pictures, giving hugs. It was so nice. But I also wanted to mention that sometimes, like whenever I meet you, I don't stay too long because I would verbally hold y'all hostage. I really would, because there's so much stuff I just want to tell you, but it's like, yeah, I would hold y'all hostage. Y'all would get tired of me, and the next thing you know, I'm banned. So I just want to say that's part of the reason why I don't kind of stick around. I get my hug and then I run. Because, like I said, I would so hold y'all hostage. But anyway, I want to say thank you so much for the Internet Family Reunion.
It was.
Only in the Rod and Karen universe can we have a wonderful time like this. And to that, I just simply say thank you. I was so looking forward to it, and I just can't say thank you enough. And it was a pleasure meeting everybody at the last show. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Aww. That was sweet. She left another voicemail.
Nope, I wasn't done. Oh. So just like at the Basketball Jones show, like, you really look great, Rod. You really look good. And I just have to shine some light on Karen as well. Karen looked absolutely stunning. Oh my gosh, she looked so good. And I meant to tell her that, but like I said, I will hold y'all hostage, just like I'm doing on these voicemails. So anyway, again, I just wanted to say thank you. I am happy. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Me too, baby. Thank you.
And these were the only two voicemails that showed up, Miss Barnes. I saw she was in the chat and said it didn't play the first one. I don't know what happened with the first one. These are the only two that were on here. Mm-hmm. But I think we got the gist of it, and we appreciate it.
We do.
Yeah, everybody's so considerate and so kind. I didn't feel like anyone was holding us up. Mm-hmm. And I felt like everybody was trying to be mindful of like other people wanted to talk to us and stuff, and that felt really dope. And mine left a voicemail.
Oh, that 2 minutes went by fast. Okay, but anyway, real quick, I really love the new theme song for when Karen, you changed Rod's mind. I really like that, and good for y'all for getting a new theme song, because I'm so tired of people writing in about that, because it's a mess.
Yes,
and it's incorrect. But all right, I love y'all. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
I agree, and I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm glad we got the song now, because damn, like, fuck is wrong with people? Anyway, next voicemail.
Hello, Roddy Karen. This is Erica. I just wanted to again congratulate you on a fantastic live show. I've been looking forward to this ever since you dropped those tickets, and it did not disappoint. The TBT community is unmatched. I got to hang out with Ms. Barnes. I got to meet Think Pretty Smart in person, which was like, I was really excited because I was an avid listener of pretty much all episodes of Whiskey, Wine, and Moonshine, and everybody was just really great.
Shout out to Whiskey, Wine, and Moonshine.
I was just really excited, and thank you so much for signing that picture. Like, I was worried about being late, so I got off work early and printed that picture so y'all could sign it. But anyway, I wanted to make a comment about Joanne Fabric. I'm kind of sad to see it close. I feel like that was a part of my childhood. My grandma quilted avidly at one time. And I remember going to Joanne Fabrics and walking up and down the aisles, wandering and just looking at all the different cool stuff that I didn't know how to do. begging her to take me so that I can get yarn or crochet. So it's I was kind of sad to see it go, and I'm also wondering, like, for those people who do quilt and sew and all these other crafts besides Michael's, where would they go?
That's my thing. Where
Michael's
would they
doesn't even have an
go?
exclusive fabric collection, so I'm just sad to see it go amongst all the other stores like Party City. So, y'all have a great day. Thank you for all the wonderful shows and just being you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you brought up a good point, because even though I think when people don't do something or they don't invest in things, they actually don't give a fuck about it. Like the libraries, a lot of people go, who gives a fuck? Well, there are people that actually utilize these things, and that's kind of how Joanne's is, because like you said, it's Michael's now a nothing. Like, there's no competition, and the thing is, their whole communities around this. They have like quilting conferences, they have like groups, and on top of that, for a lot of these places, depend on how they set up. A lot of times they do quilting classes, they do crochet classes, they show you how to use your sewing machines, particularly as sewing machines got more advanced, which means they got like more computerized, more chip innovative, more online and things like that. Particularly, it's a lot of older people that sew. And so a lot of times they would have classes to teach the older people how to use this more advanced, technology, so that they won't be doing shit for hours by hand the old school way. No. And the thing is, some of those machines you could spend like $1,000, $2,000 on some of them machines. You're going to get like the top of the line machine that can literally, anything you can think of, you can put it on there. And so, they actually did more than just sell shit, and then when you go to some of them, they even sharpen knives and all like that. Like, it's a lot of things that these places do that people take for granted when they don't utilize the services, and they just appear, they go, it don't matter. But it does matter, because for some people, they don't have Michaels around them, because Michaels is not everywhere. And so you need like an alternative. And you're not trying to be funny, dog, the shit in Walmart fucking sucks. As somebody who's been in there, you look like, oh, this is the size of a fucking room. What can I do with this? That you have no choice of fabrics, you have no choice of, like, it is not good at all. Like if you're looking for, if you want variety, Walmart ain't it.
Yeah.
It's upsetting me in my home, girl, because we feel like, well, damn, if you can't go to Better Know Place, where the hell could you go?
Yeah.
Where can you go, child?
You can't go to Joanne Fabrics. All right, let's do one more song, then it's time for the emails. Michelle writes in, ciao, Rod and Karen. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for the incredible work you do. Your podcast has been such an inspiration to me, and I truly appreciate insight, storytelling, and authenticity you bring to each episode. I'm in the early stages of launching my own podcast, sharing the wisdom-rich sayings or advice passed down through generations in African-American communities. I love to hear any advice you might have, especially when it comes to equipment and lessons learned. If there's anything you wish you had known when you were starting out, I'd be grateful for any wisdom you can share. I know you're busy, so I appreciate any time you can spare. Either way, just wanted to express my gratitude for the work you put into the show. Keep doing what you do. And I'm going to reply right now to her and say, we are answering your question on the latest episode of the show around the, what time is it? Hour 50-minute mark. There we go. So, all right. I would say that all the best advice is boring.
Yep, which people don't want to hear.
Yeah, it's like fitness, where people are like, the best thing you do is stay consistent and committed to your goals and eat less and do this. It's just what it is. Consistency is the biggest thing. Showing up for yourself is the biggest thing. I think
finding a schedule that works for you.
Yeah, I think things I wish I had known starting out early is that it's never too early to monetize if you have ideas about what you want to do. Meaning, if you are like, I want to have a Patreon one day, if you have an idea of what you want to put behind a Patreon, the better you start, faster you start off, the better off you are.
Yes, sir.
You get used to asking for that money. You get used to creating that product. It's not making more work for yourself, and it'll be rewarding as you watch more and more people slowly trickle in and go, oh, there was content already here. I think that's a big thing. I think don't worry too much about any advice about the format. Find a format that works for you.
Yep, because nobody knows.
Yeah, many people have advice that honestly, they even with research, they can't really truly know. So, you know, I remember every time we do like a podcast panel and stuff and people start asking questions and stuff, when we're on there with these big heavy hitter, heavyweight people, they say stuff that I think is like, oh no, that's not true for us. So It might be true for them, but when we're there and Combat Jack's like, wait till you get 100,000 downloads before you start monetizing. I'm like, you in your basement and your spare bedroom or whatever, you're never getting 100,000 downloads an episode. So don't wait for that as a sign, because you'll feel like a failure and you'll never make money. Start where you start and find what you're comfortable with and do that, you know? You already have an idea for what you want to do. As you do the episodes, you'll tighten up the format and be open to change. I will say that. Like, if episode 10 you realize like, oh, you know what, actually I should do a definition of the saying first and then I interview the person. Yeah, then be open to the fact that, okay, I used to do it differently, but now I'm going to do it a different way that I think is better.
Yeah.
Accept those changes, because a lot of times people get rigid and they're like, well, I didn't start off with this idea. That's okay.
Yeah.
People listening know they're listening after the fact. They know you're a human being, and they'll welcome the things that you think improve the show. And also don't be, like I said, be open to change, meaning be open to being like, this isn't working. Okay, so maybe putting the definition of the saying at the beginning, it's actually not working for the show. Now I'm going to take that out altogether and just go straight into the interview. If it works for you, that's fine. If it's fun for you to do and fun for you to listen to, it'll be fun for the audience.
Mm-hmm. It will be. Like Roger said, it's like a workout. Just be consistent. Pick a schedule or whatever that you can keep and just put them out. And get like whatever the social media accounts, just tag. Like that's one we were kind of already on top of it, because we had individual social media accounts, but then we kind of branched out to the social media account specifically for your podcast. A lot of people don't do that, and I think you do yourself a disservice, because a lot of times people want to reach out to you and it's easy for them to reach out to something with the brand on it versus reaching out to you individually, because then you have a staple and you kind of build the audience around whatever the podcast is versus you individually, which is something. It's easier for people to follow that than to follow your individual account. I've realized that.
Simone says, hey, Rod and Karen, besides missing out on being there live, I also joined the Zoom late, missed some of JL's set because of work. But as soon as I joined, I saw emojis in the chat, knew it was a good time for JL. So good. Hope he was able to feel the love. I've got so much love for you guys in the whole Black Autist community, singing along when I couldn't hear the music, cackling when folks in the chat were trying to figure out the white people news lyrics. Nobody knows. And just like feeling parasocially proud of my friends on stage doing their thing, please tell me Karen knows the Zoom chat was full of us raving about how pretty she looked. Gorgeous.
Oh,
Rod, you look good too, and you both look so happy, like you were able to enjoy yourselves. I was enjoying myself. I felt great. That's my element. That was so fun. Signed off early, but I was able to virtually cheer everyone, including being super excited that Felt 5 was there. Nice surprise. Audience choice was dope idea. Thank you. I didn't expect the feedback show the next day. Of course, my Faye is already working on ways to get updated audio for us to enjoy, and thanking everyone that made the day special. Y'all truly the best, and next time I'll be back in their live audience where I belong. Congrats on another live show, Simone. Thank you, Simone.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get that audio out, so I hope people were able to enjoy that. Old shows. This is from Kath, who says, I put on your old shows to go to sleep at night. I need noise to sleep. Arizona is too quiet. Anyway, it was a COVID episode and I felt it. My company shut down in March 2020 and reopened in June 2020. I took all the precautions, masks, gloves, etc., and I stayed healthy until February 2024. Had to take my dog to the vet. Didn't think about COVID. 2 days later, I felt like crap and was just fucking tired. Took a home test and hello, COVID. Also, all I wanted to do was sleep, but we have animals to take care of, and I had to get my brother to come over to deal with them and made my dog stay the fuck away from me. I had gotten all the boosters since then, and I ain't playing with this shit. All this to say, I love all your pods. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That's what the old shows is for, to help you get through. Mm-hmm. Let's see. What else we got here? Anti-fog glasses. Andrenet says, love the show. Yes, you can get prescription glasses with anti-fog coating. Anti-fog coating is usually applied during the manufacturing process and can be added to many types of lenses. How it works: anti-fog coating is made of hydrophilic compounds that absorb water. The coating is permanently sealed into the lenses or integrated into the plastic. It works by preventing condensation from forming on the lenses. Next time you visit the eye doctor for a new pair, you should ask them about it.
I will. I do. Even if I don't get it, I just want to know, because like I said, they give you like a laundry list of shit, and that's never been an option.
Also, sometimes there's trade-offs too.
Okay.
So it's like, if you want glasses that get dark, sometimes it's like, okay, you can get that, but you can't get this. Or you want the reflective lens coating, you can get that,
but you can't get this.
Yeah.
Like they have a limitation to what the lenses can take.
Yeah, because I forgot what it was, but it was like if you get reflective lens coating, you don't have to get anti-glare coating or something like that. Like if you get the tinted glasses, you don't have to get the anti-glare whatever option. But if you get the anti-glare option, you can't get the tinting option. Like you either get both of them, or you can't just get one. Something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, Mwangangi says, I'm watching this episode of Star Talk and the setup scientist and comedian make it palpable. I'm probably being a hater, but you'd be so much better than this dude sitting here right now. Can we do something to get you on there? Or is that not in your spirit of nerddom? Star Talk? I don't think so. Anyway, been a while. Love the show. Karen's hair at the live pop out was superlative, and nigga, I see the flex in those IG thirst traps. Ha! Keep up the healthy work, homie. I will keep up the healthy work. I would not define what I'm doing as thirst trapping yet. We one day hopefully we just keep moving.
See you, Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah, that's when it's gonna be a thirst trap. If I get the Sterling K. Brown level, then I'm gonna be out here like, man, this guy will not wear a shirt. What's his problem? Can't just go to church with no shirt on and just a tie. Mary says, hi Rod and Karen, wanted to drop a thank you for the amazing live show in addition to seeing you two. I was especially excited to meet people from the live chat. What a wonderful community you two have created. I got to meet in real life Miss Barnes, K-Can, and Cass Always after years of being in the chat room together. I even learned TPS's government name. I'll never tell. I really don't know how to explain what I was doing in Charlotte to people. I'm still not really sure what kind of connection this is, but I feel it. I went to see a live podcast recording and ran a 5K, you know. I guess you could just lie and be like, I was in there to do a 5K, guys. I'm so I guess you guys, I'm sure y'all take y'all health pretty seriously, but I take it very seriously.
I'm on the next level of health.
If I hear anyone's doing a 5K anywhere, I'm there. So I flew across the country just to be in this weird 5K in Charlotte, just to be like, yeah, got you. Okay, I'm collecting these medals.
You can't out-health me.
Lastly, I wanted to say tell you how much your health journey has inspired me. Remember, you and Karen had done a 5K. I went to see if one was happening when I would be there. And wouldn't you know it, the YMCA 5K was happening the day after the show. Yeah, I would have done that but we did the show the day before. I was like, I'm not planning nothing the next day.
Yeah, I had to recover the whole weekend. Like
once the show is over, like there's a relief, but also like I don't feel like doing nothing.
Yeah, I just get tired.
That I felt, so I was just like, I know I can imagine I'm not wanting to get up at 5 a.m. and do this shit. Ran it and I won my age group. Yeah,
my age group.
See, that's what you like. A lot of them are telling that's what it was. Like, oh yeah, I had to go. I heard some people in my age group was talking shit.
Mm-hmm. I gotta outrun all these bitches.
Yeah, I heard they was talking shit in the 40 and up group, and I said, I'm done with that bullshit. Yes. I'll see you over by the Bank of America Stadium, bitch.
Right. I'm number one in my age group.
Anyway, thanks for all you do, and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is from Natalie. Says, hey, Karen and Rod. I was one of the people pissed and disappointed at the 10 congressmen who voted to censure Al Green. I know the censure doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day, but one congressman who voted to censure was Jim Himes of Connecticut, and I'm one of his constituents. constituents. He's one of the ones that led the charge for Biden to step down running for re-election, saying Biden was declining. Funny enough, he didn't call for Biden to resign from presidency, though. Hines represents a very blue part of Connecticut. He tweeted his reasons for censuring and doubled down the day after. He mentioned if one breaks, bends the rules in defense of the rules because of being passionate, that will lead to chaos. We're already there. He's also mentioned the 2009 he voted to censure the guy who yelled at President Obama. That's fine, but we are far removed from the atmosphere of 09. He also said that we are at an inflection point. No, we aren't. We have passed that inflection. Also, the reason why he had to go back all the way to 09 is because he wasn't against censoring Marjorie Taylor Greene and Rashida Tlaib in 2023. He was against them. Okay. He was against censoring. He also bought Luigi Maggione into it. What? Hines can kick rocks. I've contacted his office to let him know how I feel, as that is the least I could do as someone who has voted for him and lives in his district. Anyway, I knew it wouldn't stop at the censure. Republicans also want to move Congressman Green from congressional committees on. I don't know what the process will be for all of that. Their dumbasses also want to punish the Congress members who were singing "We Shall Overcome" on the floor of the House. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I didn't get mad about singing "We Shall Overcome," because I said to the Republicans, it's just as oppositional. They don't care. They want zero opposition.
They want zero.
But Natalie, I think what you're doing is what I'm talking about. I think it's fine. You live in his district.
Right. You live in the district.
Hopefully y'all keep the same energy. If y'all find another candidate to primary him and y'all decide to go with that person because they like, I wouldn't have voted over that, and y'all really feel that way 2 years from now, whenever he's up,
vote that other person
I completely support that. That is the political process. That's not just tweeting on Twitter. I like that you contacted his office to be like, I ain't with that shit.
Right, you got a stake in it.
I fully support this. Like, I don't want anyone to think, because I think things can be lost in translation or whatever. I personally don't live in those districts and don't give a fuck. And even whether they would have voted for or against wouldn't have made any difference to me. It's nothing I can do about it. And it's such a symbolic vote that it's just like, get upset or don't get upset. I don't mind. But that being said, if they was from my district, it's going to be I'm going to remember.
Yeah, I'm going to remember.
Because I'm not forgive and forget. I am very much like, no, I remember the shit you did. Even in my own district. Like, it's people here where on our city council, I'll be like, nah, I remember that shit. Our school board, nah, player, I remember that shit. And there's also shit where I'll be like, stuff I don't care about, or stuff that I'm like, I remember that shit in a positive way. It's not all negative, but the point being, like, I think we all should strive to be more connected to our local politics as well as the national stage.
Yep, the local impacts you a lot more.
And I don't want to just turn it into just only the negative stuff for Democrats, but I don't think you're doing that at all. I know everyone has a role to play, and not everyone will be a Congressman Green, which is fine, but I do think it would be meaningful to show support. At times, it seems Dems are uncoordinated and don't have a plan, which is frustrating. Yeah, but it's also like, it's frustrating, but it's also true democracy in practice.
It's not going to be neat.
The Democrats pay a price for being committed to democratic ideals, like having a party where someone can be centrist, someone can be extreme, someone can be moderate, or whatever you want to say within the party, and they're still part of the party. Whereas Republicans have this way of just excising anyone who
they'll kick you out the party.
Yeah, anyone who has a conscience, who's like, what if what we're doing isn't right, has to go. Democrats pay a cost for that. Because like, if AOC shows up and says what we're doing isn't right, she don't have to go. Like I think that's essential for democracy, but I also think that it hurts in a day and age where people say stuff like, well, you guys don't look organized. Well, this is organized. What we don't look like is that we're all being forced to walk the same line. What it looks like is that AOC and Nancy Pelosi can say, Chuck Schumer, you got this wrong, and Chuck Schumer's still in the party, and AOC and Nancy are still in the party for now.
They are.
And if there is a way that Chuck Schumer will be ousted, it won't be because Joe Biden or somebody made him. It'll be because he wasn't effective, or the democratic process, someone challenged him and won. I think that matters, as opposed to what we see on the Republican side, where I would argue Republicans are extremely uncoordinated, because they live by the whims of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump's whims literally can be the opposite the next day.
Yes, they
and
can.
It looks coordinated if you just look at it from a million feet away.
Yeah,
but if you look at it
chaos.
if you look at it on a day-to-day basis, it's like, no, you guys were saying the opposite thing yesterday, and you guys are kicking people out of your party like Liz Cheney because she's like, what? I don't agree with this. You know what I'm saying? So I there's something there, though. You're right, and I guess it's frustrating in that their freedom is frustrating. This is a check on myself, though, because I have to ask myself, do I want Dems to be like Republicans who show support for their leader in public, but when you hear behind closed doors, they're expressing worry and fear? No, I don't, but there has to be a better way. Yeah, I don't know what the better way would be. I don't know. I don't know what it is, because I think, I will say this. This is the thing I will say. I do think right now is an inflection point on Chuck Schumer and his brand of leadership, and I am very intrigued as to what comes out of this, because I have never seen this many types of Democrats that are used to infighting agree that this guy is reading the room wrong,
right,
and reading the moment wrong. And I know, because I'm one of those kind of people that is typically very level-headed and like, listen, man, this is a tough situation, blah, blah, blah. I listen to Chuck Schumer. And once again, I'm not a Chuck Schumer hater. Y'all ain't never heard me shit on this man on this show. I don't do I just shitting on him because y'all shitting on him. That's other people's opinions and roles. I think this was a very bad decision and a bad misread, and I don't think the logic holds up that he is presenting. And maybe there's some behind the scenes shit. Well, I don't understand the behind the scenes shit of it either. Like, there's ways that they normally leak behind the scenes stuff, or it's like, actually Chuck Schumer was giving cover to these 10 Democrats who are in purple states and they're losing in the polls and they're worried they're going to lose their seats this year, so they need to vote for this shit, but they can't be seen as like breaking with the party line, so he has to give cover. I could understand that, but I haven't really even seen those kind of leaks. It's just been him going, this is a time where we have to come together because the government should not do this. And I'm just like, yeah, bro, I don't think people agree. I think you're kind of out on your own here, and people would like to see you, especially in a minority position, minority leadership of your party, whip up the votes and be like, nah, we're standing strong and Republicans need to do this shit on their own.
Mm-hmm. You want it done, you do the dirty work.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. That's crazy. Anyway, on a separate topic, and now what he thinks is the ultimate nightmare will come to pass, which is another reason I understand the logic of it. His thing is like, well, they're going to blame Democrats. They're definitely going to blame Democrats now. And it's sad because it's, let's see, what was it, 10 votes? So 10 out of like 40 something. So it's sad because 25% of y'all did this, and all the Democrats will pay a price. People won't say these 10 Democrats. They'll say Democrats. And Chuck Schumer, you did that. So when people don't see Democrats as the fighters against Trump next election cycle, part of this will be you contributing to that narrative by telling them to stand down, or that it's okay to stand down, and then a percentage of them standing down, but all of them being seen as people that stand down. You knew that's the media environment before you did that move. I know he's probably hoping people forget, but I don't think people are going to forget, because this budget, to a lot of people, it's like this budget is a mandate and a blank check to actually go and destroy the government as we know it. And so people won't see it as at least you kept the government open. They're going to be like, no, they would not have been able to do as much damage as they did without you appeasing them. Mm-hmm. And I really do think the leverage the Democrats had in this moment, and I'm saying the Democrats because Chuck Schumer's the leader, I think the leverage was, we won't vote for this. You guys will have to go back to the drawing board. You're going to have to either make concessions to those 2 members or whatever, but you're going to have to make some concessions to us, or you're going to have to pass a resolution that is only 30 days. We'll go do it. And I think that
we'll see you in 30 days.
That would have meant something to people.
Right.
But instead, people are going to do what they're doing, and that's sad. Anyway, on a separate topic, I've been feeling super tired lately. I've been craving more carbs than usual. I also haven't worked out in 3 weeks after being on a great 6-week stretch of workouts, and I know it's related to that. I saw your recent IG post hyping yourself up about losing 10 more pounds and also putting on more muscle. Congrats. Thank you. Yeah, I took the InBody test this week. That's the test where, like, you got to take off your shirt and your socks and shoes and shit and stand on this thing and hold your arms out, and it, like, does an electronic thing where it, like, measures your body and how much water is in there and stuff. And so the last, like, I say month or so, I've been on the scale about the same weight. Like, it's been really slowing down, like, how much weight I'm losing. But I was never really, like, heavily concentrated on just the weight number. I've been concentrating on, like, how I feel, concentrating on my fitness and stuff that I'm able to do that I wasn't able to do before, concentrating on stuff like my stamina and all this stuff, and just, like, lifting weights, my form, all this stuff, staying active, staying in the gym, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so, but still, you know, as part of this measurement system, one of the things I do is weigh myself every, like, so often. And so seeing that scale number start slowing down and stuff, I was kind of like, man, I know I'm doing the right things, but, like, and I'm eating the right way and all this, but it's just kind of like, man, I hate looking at this number not change that much. And so the InBody is great. I don't know if you guys have InBody wherever you're at, but it's really great because you can say, yeah, my weight is about the same, but I saw that I had lost 10 pounds or so of fat. I forget the exact number, but I want to say it was like 10 or so pounds of fat. But I had gained like 3 pounds of muscle or 4 pounds of muscle since November. And that is just me staying in the gym and lifting. And so, you know, my body fat percentage went down. And I know people say muscle weighs is more dense, so it weighs more than fat, blah, blah. But I don't know. It's something relieving about, like, okay, at least these numbers are showing me my workout is still happening.
Yeah, that it's a change.
I'm not just doing it for nothing.
Right.
And corresponding to the good feelings that I'm having about myself and my body, the work percentage and the goals are still happening whether I can see them on a scale or not. That matters to me. So and my, you know, my trainer told me to share the stuff on Instagram and all that stuff. She was like, people will be inspired and all this stuff. And I was, you know, at the beginning, I'll be honest, I was like, we'll see. And I wasn't even sure I was going to share it, to be honest, just because I was like, it's my business and I know. But I feel like there's a stigma attached to a lot of this stuff of, like, don't share it, or if you share it, like, do what you want validation from other people or something. And I'm just decided to not be in my head about that stuff. Right. It's my body, and the same way people was, if I posted a picture years ago and somebody was just like, I like how you look in this pic, I was never like, you know, like, what? No, like, I was fine. If you like how I look, good. If not, that's your business as well. But, but yeah, I'm glad that so many people have tapped in to be like, you know, this made me work out. I work out now too, or, you know, man, I was inspired by you, and this is, you know, this is why I stay in the gym, whatever. I found a really nice community of people, and it has not been the negative feelings that I thought would have happened, the anxiety that I had around all this.
Yeah, sometimes I've realized too that the internet will lie to you about the reality of what's real. Because similar to you, when you look at the internet, it's like, oh my gosh, people gonna be filming me. You're like, no, you going to the gym. They like, bitch, you
you're talking about the gym. Yeah, I meant just more the internet, like social media people are just very positive. But also, yeah, the gym has been extremely positive as well. Yeah, it's been, I'm really glad I'm doing this. And yeah, it's been nothing but a positive experience for me. And even I have a really good trainer, so it helps that when I get down on myself or I'm hard on myself, there's so many times where she just said a word or two that just made me be like, yeah, I'm tripping. Like, the goal is to be in the gym, because I have a weird type of a personality where I feel like I'm very type A, but it's just I hold it in a lot. So I'm very much like, I expect to be good at things. I expect to be good immediately. When I'm not good, I get upset with myself, and things that take a lot of work that I'm not good at, a lot of times I'm just like, fuck it, I don't even want to be good at that, which is not true. I do want to be good at it, but some things just take more time than others.
Right.
And this thing has really inspired me to remember the roots of other things that I got good at through lots of work. So playing basketball, I got good because I stayed playing basketball. I didn't get good
all
because
the time, yes.
yeah, I was 15 and I had asthma until I was 15. I was used to dribble with fucking two hands and shoot with two hands like this. Like, I got good at basketball because I just kept wanting to be good, and it was a bit embarrassing at first, and there were ups and downs, and there was judgment, and there was all this stuff. But I got to a point where I could stay on the court with a lot of people, obviously not like some NBA people or no shit, but just I got to the point where it's like I could go out there with the fellas and hoop, and it was second nature to me, and I loved doing it. And that did not happen overnight. I still remember the drive-through game I played with my brother. We didn't have a basketball goal, and you had to cross over the other person and go past them on the in the driveway, and the driveway's like 6 feet, 8 feet. But I learned to dribble that way. I still remember the summer I spent dribbling up and down the hill on this loop around my neighborhood. And if you fucked up the dribble, you had to go all the way back to the bottom and start your dribble over to get up that hill half a mile or whatever. I remember spending time doing that, riding the bike, all this shit that I just did, you know, like working on my shot. It never looked orthodox. It was, but I remember my freshman year of college, I used to just go to the gym pretty much 4 or 5 days a week. Besides just playing basketball, I go to a different gym where no one was in there, and the fucking gym was raggedy. It had nails in the floor and shit. And I would just shoot over and over for hours, just over and over by myself until my jumper got pretty fucking wet. Cause I realized that I was not as good a shooter as the guys I was playing with. And for the role they wanted me to play, I needed to be able to shoot stay on the court with them. And so I figured that shit out. And the gym has got me back to that, where it's like, oh, no. The process is part of the progress. And so it's really been helpful. And honestly, like, it's done a lot for my mentality too, because I think one of the reasons I have not been so on edge about all this shit with the world and politics and stuff is because you get in the gym and it's just you and whatever your exercise you're doing, and you tune out, you listen to some music, and you count and you do your sets, and you work on what you can control, and you don't worry about what you can't control for that amount of time. And that's something basketball gave me, and now I'm getting it out of the gym. And also walking outside does so much wonders for your mental health. And I just feel like it's a thing people don't do. It's something a lot of us could do. It's not like you got to go out there for 12 hours. You ain't got to walk 17 miles. You don't have to walk a certain pace. It doesn't have to be competitive. You can just, I basically at this point go, I'm going to walk for about an hour to wherever I'm walking on the path. Sometimes I walk to like a park or something. I'll sit on a bench for 10, sometimes 20 minutes. Like, I'll sit on that bench for a minute, look at the sky, breathe, look at ducks and turtles and shit, and then I'll go walk back, and it's, you know, I'll get a little bit of a sweat, but it's never like, I'm not out there trying to kill myself. I'm just out there like getting some exercise. But it does so much for my mental health, man. I feel so good about stuff, rather than being cooped up in the house and looking at my phone or whatever. So definitely going to create another workout plan, get back and workout train, because I feel good and sleep better. I have a 3-year-old and 11-month-old, so the sleep won't be 100% better. I feel you on that. Yeah. Also, like, another thing too, this last couple of weeks, I designed my own workout one time, because I would have never been able to do that a year ago. That's how much I've learned from the trainer over that time. Is we weren't able to meet because of a weather emergency or something, but it was like, I sent her a list of like, yo, what if I do these exercises? And she's like, no notes, like, that's it, do that. You got all the right muscle groups, and you'll even The only thing she suggested was like, if you feel more comfortable doing higher weight later on in the week, do so you're doing 25-pound curls. If you want to go up to 30, do 30, or something like that. It's just really, really rewarding. I highly suggest it to people. And if you can afford to get a trainer, nutritionist, something like that, I suggest you do that as well. Cause I know I needed help and I don't know everything. And it helps to have people that know more than you that can help you as long as you don't have an ego about it,
Right.
Keep pushing. I'm sorry for any typos. Thank you both, and take care, Nat. Thank you, Nat.
Thank you.
All right, and then the last thing is we got stuff in the mail. Michael, we did not get a note, but I assume these are from Michael off our Amazon wish list because Michael emailed me about it. But we got more of them candles.
Yay.
Got some candles.
I like them
Wait
candles.
a minute. Pineapple cake. Oh, shit. The DW candles?
Oh, did he find them?
I had these on the list. I don't know if I had these on the list.
I know you talked about
But
them.
listen. Pineapple cake.
Ain't that the one you talk about?
This motherfucker right here from DW. It's on the top 2 of the candles ever, and it ain't number 2. This motherfucker right here. Listen. Pineapple cake don't miss. Okay? You could not burn the pineapple cake. You could just open it up and sit it in a room. I think it'll work. That's very valuable. I'm gonna hold on to that one. I burn those slow. Oh, double pineapple cake. God damn.
Oh, not pineapple and double pineapple.
God, one to burn, one to look at. That's what I like.
One to burn, one to look at.
We got this from Preston, who I didn't even realize had apparently is an author. Preston wrote a book.
Oh.
Yeah. It's called Toto, the Band, Not the Dog. Includes exclusive interviews with founder Steve Lukather, David Peich, I hope I'm saying that right, and Steve Porcaro. I did not know Preston wrote books. And in the note,
Come on, smarty art niggas.
in the note with it, he says, right, we have a lot of smart people listening to the show.
We do. I am shocked y'all listen to us.
I don't know why they listen, but they do.
I am shocked every time somebody be like, yeah, I got the PhD. I'm like, why, baby? Why is you here?
Professors, authors, they're crazy.
Right.
I forgot to give you a copy of my first book at the live show. My second blood will be coming out shortly. I'm in the process of writing the third one about a band you have seen that has been on the Blackout Tips. Cheers from Preston. Who could it be?
I don't know. Who could it be?
Who could it be? Could it be? I wonder if it's Living Color.
Yeah, out here writing books and shit.
It would be funny if it wasn't Living Color and it's just some other band. It's like, y'all really forgot about us, nigga? But I think it's Living Color. And then this is not a gift from a fan. Give me a second. I got to open it up.
Okay.
But this is something I got for us.
Okay. We all waiting in suspense because I don't have no idea what it is.
All right. So it's something I got for us to commemorate a big moment.
Mm-hmm.
There's more cutting involved than I thought, guys.
More cutting. Good thing you got the good scissors. Y'all know how it is when they wrap shit up. They like, you know what? We're going to wrap shit up to make it impossible to get to the shit you want.
I appreciate them for saying this shit ain't going to break on the way over there. But we were recently acknowledged in the paper, our local Queen City Nerve.
Yes.
And we got a whole spread done about us. Mm-hmm. And so I got it commemorated in a plaque.
Oh.
Yeah. So it could go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So it can go on the wall somewhere in here. We'll find a place to put it.
I like that.
Yeah. We'll have this is a big deal to us.
It was.
So, and of course, they Ryan and I believe Christine, they were at the live show. So that was cool.
That is beautiful.
So yeah.
Yeah, because it's a whole ass spread. I am really excited about putting that up.
Yeah, it's got their logo on it. It's got all the words from the article there. It's got Rod and Karen Morrow, Blackout Tips Podcast, Queen City Nerd, February 19th, 2025. So yeah, I just thought, hey, let's commemorate it. Like, spend some of this live show money to maybe I'll put it on the wall back here so that whenever we're live, people will see it on the wall or something.
Yay, that's pretty.
Yeah.
What made you think to do that?
Oh man, honestly, they emailed like that's great news. Emailed, it was like, hey, we saw you were in this thing. Would you like to commemorate it with a plaque or whatever? And I was like, this seems like a hustle. But but then I looked into it. I was like, no, it seems like they do this, and I had never thought of this before. So maybe this will be going over where Mario and the Millennial Falcon are and something, because I want people to see it every time. They're also I think they're also the only people. Well, they're not the only people, but they're the main one I think about whenever I think about award winning. I'm like, they gave us a award before anybody else did.
Yes, they did.
15 years in the game, somebody finally was like, you know what, this show ain't that bad.
It ain't that bad. That might be all right over there.
Somehow they've been able to stay on the air for 15 years. Nobody else has ever done that, except Keith and the Girl.
Right?
There's like 4 podcasts out here like this. All right, y'all. Thank you for listening, everyone. We'll be back throughout the week. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for all the kind words.
Yes,
everyone in the chat.
you.
It's been fun, and we'll talk to you soon. Until then, I love you.
I love you too, baby.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.